Sim Racing Showdown? The Drive for 500 is coming on February 14th, 2026. This isn't just any race. The winner takes home this exclusive, custom-made trophy. A one-of-a-kind prize that you won't want to miss. But that's not all. Every driver who qualifies and completes at least 50% of the laps will score exclusive giveaways. So whether you're fighting for first place or just making the field, there's something for everyone. Plus, we're on a mission to hit 500 subscribers by race day. Your support powers the race, so subscribe now and help us cross that finish line.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of the Bonfire Premier Cup. The Bonfire Racing League is in the elimination mode for the Final Four. That's right, we have gone through the regular season, the round of 12, the round of 8, and we're here live for the Plus EV Paints 225 at Las Vegas. Who will join Jason Landry in the Final Four next week at Nashville to claim the Season 14 championship? We're 4 wide in the booth here today. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe, Johnny Replay, all-star cast for an all-star race. Boys, doesn't get any bigger than this. Tension boiling on the track. Who are we keeping an eye on here today, Zach?
Man, just excited to be back in Las Vegas and been keeping an eye on this season, and it looks like it's hard to ever count out Jason Landry, no matter what shape the track is, no matter how long it is. This looks like the year of Jason Landry. He's gotten better every season, which is hard to believe, and it looks like he's taking a whole nother step up. But this is a big race for these boys, the penultimate race before we go to the championship 4. So I really think you're going to see some risk-taking here. And after all, me and Gene, we are in Las Vegas, so this is the place to gamble.
Yes, sir. This race sponsored, of course, by Plus EV Paints, who is led by the gambler, Paul Ferdy-Annie. Now, you're talking about Jason Landry. He has announced this is his final season. Jason going to head up an ARCA series next year for guys with a little bit higher I rating. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do battle and let this guy walk away with a ring 8 wins on the year for Jason Landry so far. 2 in a row here in the round of 8. But guess who's back? That's right. Last time they were here 2 years ago at Vegas, David Medina Sr. took the win. Hey, Smokin' Joe, who's that driver down there we're looking at?
Yeah, well, I see David Medina. He's right now down there ready to get some qualifying, I think, going. Looks like there might be open qualifying here today on accident day. So that's going to make things a little bit interesting for your palette today as well.
Yeah, the iRacing gods were a little bit mean to us, would not let us open the session that we had. New session made on the fly. Thank you for the admins doing that. And it will be group qualifying. But David Medina has not raced since week 14 at Homestead, finally settled into his new homestead and able to join us out here on the track. Best of the rest points on the board. This is elimination, and we see just how tight it is. Pony Up Motorsports driver Eric Gambrell right below the line. A Golden Octopus, Wayne Newman, and the Florida racing team of Dunn and Johnson as well, needing a good day to get above that. Meanwhile, Richard Modric riding that line. Paul Ferdiani, Michael Sara, great years, and Jared Kelly. Remember, he missed the playoffs by just 3 points, putting his mark on this track. Last time we were here, Jared Kelly finished in 3rd, so gonna expect a big day out of the double nickel. Down in the playoff picture, that is a little bit shady as well, as we can't see how it's going to advance as of yet. Everybody knows Jason Landry gonna be the guy to pump on through, and then the points get a little bit skewed behind that. You got to think Joe Vulpes is in a good spot, just needs an average Joe Vulpes run. Kevin Kyle Duvall in there, but Johnny, when we talk about an average Joe Vulpes run, that's a spectacular run for the other 95% of the guys out there. What do you think is going to happen in this points picture?
I mean, based off the last few races we've seen, Joe Vulpes has been literally like right there, close to the finish line, about to take it on, and then just something happens, something kind of ruins the race for him. He ends up falling back. I don't think we can count him out yet. He's just bad luck on his side. This might be the race where he finally gets the win he's been looking for.
Ooh, so you're thinking he could be the one to spoil Landry's 2 going for 3 in a row. Big prediction there by Johnny Replay. Other drivers, Kevin Kyle, 14 above the line. Jax Duvall, 11 above. A little bit of news, Kyle Lynott not making the trip to Vegas. So Brandon Shelton and Kyle Lynott both out of the playoff picture. All eyes on Ricky Mandela Sr. and Jose Medina. Jose, the ignition point driver, needing a win here today to advance. And Ricky Mandela Sr., the Animal House Custom captain, right on the line. If he could score some stage points and get a good finish above Kyle or Duvall, I think we could see the number 3 sneak right on into that Final 4. And it's not off the board. Ricky Mandela has had fastest laps here at Vegas before, runs great on this size track. And we've seen Jose Medina knocking on the door with a few top 5s on this side's track as well. Lots of excitement in store for us here on the Vortex Racing Network. Boys are doing a little bit of qualifying. Seems like a great time for me to take it on over for a nice commercial from KK Woodscapes.
Oh, yeah.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Great advertisement there by Kevin Kyle. Great sponsor as well. Kevin, of course, sponsoring many races across the Vortex Racing Network umbrella. Friend of the league, friend of the station. Qualifying is underway, as Smoke and Joe made reference to. Zach, they're doing a group qualifying out there.
Yeah.
How we looking?
I love it, me and Gene. I think group qualifyings are so much fun. They make things a little bit more unpredictable, especially at a track like this where the draft is so important. Kind of reminds me of the old days, like during COVID when they had to group qualify. But man, me and Gene, some things just never change, do they?
No, sir, because as we look up at the top of the poll, bada bing, bada boom, Jason Landry going to take the poll. Congratulations, Jason Landry. You are the poll award winner. The poll award this year sponsored by SimRacingNation.com. If you're looking for a community of iRacers to share ideas and set up, SimRacing.com. Check them out. Jason Landry taking the award, and joining him on the front row going to be Joe Volpis. Two top points drivers side by side. Animal House Custom teammate Ricky Mandela Sr. going to start in third. Joining him on the second row, the 73 of Justin Malarkey. David Brenner going to fire off from the fifth position. Double O Joe gonna be starting from sixth, representing Ignition Point in this series. Teammate Jared Kelly, double nickel, gonna be starting in the seventh place position. Playoff driver Kevin Kyle gonna be in number 8 on the outside of the fourth row. Rick Modric knee deep in a best of the rest battle, starting ninth. Jax Duval starting in 10th. Again, Duval right above the cutoff line. Mark Dumont going to be firing off from the 11th position, the number 14 privateer from Canada. Welcome back, monsieur. 12th place going to be Jose Medina. Must win here today. All eyes on Jose. Jake Johnson firing from the 13th position. Florida Man Racing. Paul Ferdiani, league sponsor here today. Thank you, Paul. The Gambler going to be in 14th. 15th place, Jerry Rose is going to be starting on the 8th row next to Michael Sara, firing off from the 16th in the number 27. Take it away.
17th, we got Eric Gambrill. Gambrill, another driver who needs a good run today to get himself in that best of the rest championship race. Sam Milliken will be, behind will be Wayne Newman in 18th. Sam Milliken will be in 19th. But besides Sam will be the returning David Medina. David Medina will be fun to watch go through the field today. Garrett Austin, cool face to see there. Garrett Austin will be rolling off in 21st. He's a fast driver at this track, as is his teammate Edward Peltz. The two Golden Octopus drivers will be working their way through the field as well. Chris Morrill in 23rd. Tommy Fox will be starting in 24th. Tim Dunn in 25th, and in 26th place will be Tim Darby. And I believe that is going to round out our field engine. And starting from Garrett Austin back, none of those guys put down a qualifying time.
26 ready to do battle, but first let's go to America's crew chief.
Good morning, everybody. Larry McReynolds here with NASCAR and Fox. You know, America's crew chief. Welcome to the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. You know the deal. All right, all right, all right. Drivers, start your engines. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go iRacing.
Thank you, Larry. And again, congratulations to Jason Landry, who is the SimRacingNation.com pole position award winner. Joe Volpis on the outside, as you made reference to before, Zach. Joe knocking on that door has had some incidents slowing him down, but what we've seen him do across the other leagues has just been amazing. Gonna see him definitely throwing a challenge here, letting Landry know he's here for battle before they go to that championship race in Nashville. Across the start-finish line, it is going to be Landry. Volpis on the outside, though. Great momentum for just a moment. Pull side by side, then Landry going to be on the apron with better momentum. You got to love the action here at Las Vegas. Multiple lines can be run. Right now, though, the boys staying 2x2. A little bit of activity there in the fourth place position. Landry Volpis now coming out of 3 and 4. Sideways. Looks like Malarkey having a big one.
Oh, man, Malarkey hard in the wall, and he's around. That is going to bring out our first caution. Oh, wow. Las Vegas typically what is considered one of the easier tracks, and sometimes that can lead you into some false senses of confidence and comfortability. This place is loosey-goosey on these first few laps with those cold tires.
Malarkey gonna bring it into the pits almost immediately. We do have 4 sets of tires in the pit. Malarkey might need one after taking that little sideways run right there. Also, cars can make it about 48 laps on a green flag run. Stage is scheduled for 60. So with this caution, that will make it very interesting to see who thinks they can push their car a little further. And this caution, oh, Zach, you haven't been here for too many of these. How are you enjoying that Todd Dunn caution?
I love that. He didn't cause it, but he paid for it. Thanks, Todd. That's wonderful.
Oh, man, you should hear the siren when it goes off. I can't tell you how many DMs I've had about people loving that one.
I'm sure. Yeah. I love that. That's a wonderful, wonderful caution sponsor right there by the right driver, too. And wow, you were not kidding me and Gene. A lot of these drivers going to come in, obviously, for likely just a splash of fuel, but already counting backwards. I mean, I do not disagree with these drivers, especially if you don't have the running position that you wanted. You might as well put in a splash. You never know.
Playoff drivers highlighted in yellow on the tree. We will be monitoring that progress. Looks like Johnny's over here on the spot. What you got for us?
Nothing too serious. It looked like just the 22 was kind of creeping upwards right there. The 73 held his line and just normal race contact, I guess. Nothing too egregious.
I doubt the 73 too happy about that one.
Yeah, and then the 25 was getting there, but he's...
Eric,
but
too soon.
I think we learned from last week with all those, not being aware that we know
that happens here
too.
To
be doing now.
Oh, hey, let's go down to Smoking Joe. Joe, you're down in the pits. How does Malarkey's car look down there?
It looks like they're loading it up on the trailer, and they're saying, have a good one. We'll see you next week in that, Bill.
Golly gee, that is not fortunate. Of course, Malarkey, we've seen a lot of speed out of Justin. He has won here in the Premier Cup in previous seasons. So disappointment for the fans to see the 73 out of the race that quickly. Under caution here on lap number 3, that thing came out very fast. Something that you could expect, though, right, Zach? I mean, so many lines available to the drivers here at Las Vegas, but also so many opportunities to wear out that right front tire. Turn 3 and 4 just goes on forever.
Yeah, and this is essentially one of those tracks where you have to fight off that temptation to go wide open, I guess any more than you have to, right? It really does eat up your tires, and oftentimes here at Vegas, by the time the damage has been done to your tires and you start to feel that wear and that car doesn't want to turn anymore, it's already too late. You can't regain tire wear, right? You can't bring it back. Once it's gone forever until you replace those tires. And Vegas is one of those tracks where you have to have so much discipline. And like you said, there are so many lines available to race on this racetrack, but they really do wear your tires differently. I think you're going to see the top be a little bit more aggressive on those tires than the bottom is, but the top is also a great place to make passes on the longer run.
Something I noticed in practice was people making use of that outside lane. The inside lane sure does save your tires, but no, the exit speed just can't match what you can do on the outside. Now, question is, though, you better get some experience on entry speed on the outside early in the run, because if you think you're going to magically figure that out with old tires, you might end up kissing that outside wall. Pace car is pulling off. Tink and I up on the front with Jason Landry on the inside. Control car, Volpus with him. 3, 2, 1, away we go. Great start there by the 56. Volpus trying to stay with him. Behind him, Mandela and Double O Joe side by side. Jared Kelly up into 5th. Now look at the angle that Landry gets to take into the turn. Exit speed faster than the others. Single file, Volpus, Double O Joe, Kelly, and Ricky Mandela side by side. David Brenner, Duval, Modric, Medina, Mark Dumont rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, Landry with such a good start there that he was able to do a wide arc through 1 and 2. Really no run available for Volpus behind him, and Landry going to sail off into quite literally the sunset right now. We are in the golden hour here in Nevada, and it looks just absolutely beautiful in this racetrack, me and Shane. And then this field behind him really starting to already settle in. We have 150 laps around this racetrack, and now is probably your best opportunity to learn and see what this tire wear is going to be like as this race goes on.
No surprise to see Joe Volpis riding around early in the run. Last week, Landry led 164 laps, but Volpis putting the moves on at the end of the race, ready to strike before calamity occurred, and Volpis taking that damage on the inside wall. So Volpis in striking position with Jason Landry. This is a common theme of Volpis being comfortable, letting the 56 lead as many laps as he wants. Behind him, Kelly and Double O Joe, these two guys battling for best of the rest dominance. Lovely to see those guys up front making battle. Ricky Mandela needing a good run in 5th right now, looking outstanding on the track. Biggest mover, though, Tim Darby up 7 spots into 19th. Up closer to the front, looks like Jerry Rose up 5 has moved into 10th. And Jax Duvall as well, up 5 into the 5th position.
A lot of these drivers picking up spots very, very early. Jerry Rose being one of them. There it is right there, up 5 positions already. That is not easy to do here at Las Vegas. So a brilliant run so far from the 51 race car. And then up front, yeah, you do see Jared Kelly looking like a man on a mission, making that beautiful pass on Bennett to get himself in a podium position early on in this race. You know Kelly would rather be racing for a championship right now, but that best of the rest trophy would not hurt either, and Kelly doing what he has to do right now to guarantee himself in that championship race. But that 00 looking really strong, and it looks like as well Kelly gonna be one of the first drivers up front to start using that top even by himself, not so much to make a pass.
Now you really got to wonder just how hard they're bringing it in to that turn. That right front will come under duress very quickly if you don't really. I don't want to use the term roll because I see the faster drivers are always on the throttle here, even if it's 8, 10, 12%. So roll might not be the right word. But if you come in there a little too hot, get on that throttle too soon, it really can just cause a lot of duress on the tire. Speaking of duress, I'm in duress. I'm looking at the leaderboard. David Medina running in 20th right now. Hey, Joe, what's going on in the pits? Is this planned? Is Medina just taking his time? Anything wrong with that number 9 Ford?
I think he's just trying to get used to that new setup that he's got going on. Remember the move, of course, you know, getting everything back where it needs to be. I don't think it's as easy to just pick up and play, you know, how it is, trying to get your setup dialed in, everything. He's a little rusty, a couple of weeks off as well. I think he's just trying to settle in for the time being.
There's your update from Smokin' Joe. Medina just going for a ride, getting back in the swing of things, currently running in the 20th place right there behind Newman. Up front, it's still what will Jared Kelly do next as we see the double nickel putting on a show, up 4 spots into that 3rd place position. Makes you wonder exactly what we're going to see out of those tires. As you're right, look at him choosing that high side. You don't really want to diamond these turns, but man, look at the exit speed, Zach.
Yeah, I was going to say, me and Gene, that's exactly what I was going to allude to, is that exit speed is exceptional from Jared Kelly. That's how it looks like he's going to want to make these passes, but like you said, it's kind of even like a mini diamond. He's entering really, really high, but by the time he's exiting, he's far lower down the corner than where he entered. That, in my opinion, cannot be good for that right front tire. I mean, it's certainly great for exit speed on these corners. It's looking real fast, but we'll see how long that lasts. Only lap 14 here. We've already had a caution, so that allowed him to save a little bit of tire there. But one thing that I'd be a tiny bit concerned about if I'm Jared Kelly is he's running what looks to be the faster line on the track, but that 00 is having no problem staying with him using the bottom.
Good run right there, 00 Joe, expecting him to have a big day here today, right on the tail of Jared Kelly. Cannot wait to see, and Duvall as well in that picture. Great battle here between those 3. Speaking of great battles, if you look back to the 8th position of Jose Medina, this is a guy that needs to win here today. He's starting to fade a little bit from the group in front of him. You can see Ricky Mandela ahead of him, And then look at how this group is starting to bunch up right here. This is where the fear factor goes on. No more Joe Rogan. It's Johnny Knoxville. And you want to be careful here. You don't want to be a jackass.
Yeah, I could not agree more, Mean Gene. I remember on Friday, this was on the BRL broadcasting station yesterday, in that ARCA race, I had a very similar feeling. Man, I didn't feel like I was slow, but I was looking at my rearview mirror, and I was like, I feel like I'm holding up half the field right now. It looks like there is a little bit of a roadblock in the form of that 54 right now, because, I mean, while he doesn't look slow, he's hitting his marks, Mean Gene. Look at that group behind him. Also goes to show how important momentum is here, and also just how sketchy and difficult it is to pass. You can tell if you don't complete that pass, you're going to lose a handful of positions, especially in a group like this.
Yeah, and I'm watching, like, Rose was up right behind Medina and then faded. Makes me wonder if he got nervous or just the tires started to go away. Sam Milliken. Oh, 4 wide. What are we doing? Chrome Dome on the outside. Garrett Austin making the move on the inside. Woo, Sam Milliken, my word. I must have accidentally said his name and invoked the spirits of 4 wide.
There was barely enough for him to make that work. It was like Dumont also had a small issue there. It killed his momentum, and he just made the meat in a very large sandwich, like a double-decker sandwich. I guess that's what you call it, 4 wide, and he was smack in the middle of that. Good job by Dumont to keep his car facing the right direction, but he is still fading. That's going to be another position for Medina as he continues his pursuit up front. But that is the type of things that the other Medina, Jose Medina, is gonna need to create some separation from this wild pack of Hornets behind him.
Hey Johnny, you got a update on what happened right there going into that 4 wide? Did somebody get loose? Did somebody bump somebody? Maybe you could do a little investigative journalism, because that was seriously exciting. Up front,
I
looks
have it if
like
you want to see it.
Johnny on the spot.
He's ready.
Always.
All right, so right here, the 51 and the 14. They're about to come into the corner. Right there. Little looseness. He held it, but he's starting to lose speed. And so he just starts falling backwards.
Really nice of Jerry Rose to straighten him out there. A really scholarly and gentleman move by that Jerry Rose driver.
Wow, that was a piece of driving right there. You know, the 51 rocking that fish speed decal. Been working over there with those fish speed drivers. We've seen so much success out of them on Monday nights working with Jordan Fisher. So Rose has improved his positions, but I don't think they're teaching you how to rear end people over there in that school.
Yeah, I don't think he's made the chrome bumper part of the textbook yet, but he certainly has found the speed part. And I don't think there's any league right now, I mean, maybe even in the world, Mean Gene, that's showing off the power of coaching better than the Bonfire Race League, whether it's on a Tuesday or a Sunday. Over on Tuesdays, you see Edward Peltz lending over some advice to the Foss family, and they finished their best finishes of the season this Tuesday, 10th and 14th place. And then you have Jerry Rose, who has been coached by one of the greater drivers to ever be in MRL and BRL, Jordan Fisher. And you have Jerry Rose currently running just outside the top 10, having a really solid race, and also having the cojones to move people out of his way.
Let's not get excited, Zach. It's lap number 22. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where he ends up.
We'll see where he is at the end of the day. Look at Kelly and 00 Joe putting on a great show up for us a little bit up further in the front. This pack we're looking at is definitely the tightest of the racing, but these are your leaders right here. 00 Joe trying to hold on. This is for 4th and 5th. Kelly has done a great job maintaining his speed with those with how much he had to put out to get there. But Duvall up 7 spots in 3rd. Garrett Austin up 11 spots in 10th. Those are the fellas whose tires I'm really going to be curious about in about the next 10 laps.
Yeah, Jax Duvall has had a really solid season in that 84 Vans race car. Beautiful paint scheme there for Duvall. And man, Duvall really, this is a very impressive season for Duvall. He is definitely one of those guys that's normally in 3-4 leagues at least at a time. Jax Duvall has only been running full-time, to my knowledge, on Sundays this season. I have not been on the track with him any other day of the week, nor have I been in the booth covering him. So for Duvall to have this limited time on track and still be this quick and still understand how to save tires this well, so impressive. Another shout to Jax Duvall as he'll be starting a new league, an early bird Tuesday league over in the MRL. I believe they'll be driving Gen 6 race cars. So check that out if you are one of the earlier bird people, or if you have Tuesdays off. I think you'll find me on the track in that league as well.
Hey, or if you just want to run back-to-back races, same opportunity, DDIRL, giving people on Monday night. So you could do double headers back-to-back days.
Bonfire. Very good point.
Yeah, 4 races just like that. Jared Kelly now coming under attack from David Brenner. Brenner moving up into the top 3. Gulf Coast driver, was a playoff driver, got eliminated in the round of 12, but the 22-0 is showing great speed here on Sunday morning.
And Kelly is definitely starting to fade, me and Gene. He does have a nice gap all the way back to 7th right there of Medina. But, man, he was in 3rd place not too long ago, pretty comfortably with Brenner at least a second or two behind him. So you can really see the benefit here of saving tires here at Vegas. It just isn't a track when you're on it, when you're racing early on, where you feel like it's going to come back to bite you this hard. But, man, it does. And it really just seems to be a switch that flips all at once here at Las Vegas.
Other guy having a great run. How about Jake Johnson, the 9th place car, the number 32, having a good run right now up into the top 10. That is the Florida Man Racing driver. We see he is in the battle for best of the rest, but anytime you can work your way up into the top 10 here at the Bonfire Premier Cup, you got to be thrilled. And he is surrounded by the fellas he's doing battle with. You can see Modric directly behind him in 10th, and Kelly, as we highlighted just a little bit ago, up in 6th, but that gap slowly closing as Johnson is only 1.8 seconds behind. Johnson's issue has definitely been Jose right there in front of him. Jose doing a fine job of holding his position. Maybe Jose's holding on for a late run in this extended fuel green flag, but Jose's going to need to drop that hammer if we're going to start mentioning him in the same paragraph as Landry, Vulpes, and Duvall up front.
Yeah, Jose seems to be making that 54 race car very wide right now, but something tells me that if Jake Johnson is able to find a way around him, he's going to check out with his keys on the counter and just become a dot in that 54's mirror. I think this is probably the best example on track of just how difficult it can be to pass here, especially as these tires wear. But Jake Johnson knows what he's doing here. He is comfortable in these situations. He is the defending best of the rest champion over on Tuesday nights. So Johnson really comfortable in these high pressure situations and knows what to do. So our producer telling us that we might have some sass going on. Oh, wow.
You hear that?
So yeah, we have 2 drivers trying to make it to the entire stage without pitting. Let's ride on board with one of them real quick. See how aggressively they are saving that fuel. My assumption is they're gonna have to be pretty clever about how to maintain speed here. I mean, Gene, such a fast racetrack, so momentum based. Let's see here. Keep your eye on that bar on his dash there. As you see, Kevin Kyle, he's not gonna put in the clutch at all, but he's gonna really hog that bottom, Mean Gene, trying to make this racetrack as short as he possibly can.
Oh, he's working it right there. Yeah, he's throttling up a little bit on the front, but other than that.
Also trying to stay within that draft in front of him to not have to use the full accelerator pedal down the front and backstretch. But you can see that blue car in his mirror going a little bit further away from him. So Kevin Kyle, it's going to be big for him to be able to stay within that draft and not have to use too much gas. But this is something we see KK do pretty often. Oftentimes also in big races like this, Gene.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, he was a 1/10 of a second off the pace. And then the very next lap, he was even, right there at it. So he's not losing a ton of speed, but really saving so much fuel. Really good gamesmanship right here by Kevin Kyle and also by his teammate Smorrell. Meanwhile, Ricky Mandela going to come down into the pits, maybe trying for a short pit at this point. But you got to commend Kevin for this strategy early on. If he can make it to the end, he might even put a few people a lap down.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle definitely taking a gamble here, Mean Gene. This is a huge race for that 31. He needs this win, or not this win, I should say, but he needs a great finish. If this goes south for him, if a caution drops at the wrong time, this could really be bad for that driver of the 31. But at the same time, if you come out here and you feel like you don't have race-winning speed or maybe even top 5 speed, this is a great way to counteract that or earn that track position in an easier way and protect it from there. So KK going to be a fun one to follow as this race progresses today.
Looks like we see Ricky Mandela coming out of the pits. His teammate coming in, Joe Vulpes, going to get a little bit of work done. David Brenner, Sam Milliken as well, all in the pit at this point. Lap number 35, going to try to get a little extra speed coming out. See tires going on a lot of those cars. Let's go down to Smoking Joe. Anybody getting cute down there? Are they taking 4, 2, or none?
Well, looks like some guys going with 4 tires. Looks like Vulpes, Brenner, Mandela all went with 4. Sam Milliken, I believe, as well. All of them went with 4 tires so far that I see on the data.
And there it is. You know who else is on the move? Look at David Medina slowly making his way up. He's gotten around Jake Johnson, who was running so well. Again, we're in the middle of a pit cycle, so a lot of these positions are going to rotate around once everybody takes fuel. But remember how far back Medina was, now making his way up into the top 10 behind the Pony Up crew of Gambrel and Rose. Ahead of them, we still see Double O Joe. He's leading some laps. No points for leading laps, but hey, it feels good and you get a little bit of airtime. How we doing?
Yeah, it is worth those sponsors getting body armor, that airtime, probably a well-paying sponsor there, and that's a good-looking race car that 00 is driving right there. So Joe Bennett, I think definitely one that I am more unfamiliar with. Have not gotten to cover him too often, but one thing he's showing me is that he knows his way around this Las Vegas racetrack. He has tons of speed here today. Looks like he might be bringing it down soon. The speeds are at that point, Mean Gene, where they are forced to save so much tire, I should say, that it looks like they're pitting every lap as they're just really yawing it down through 3 and 4. Trying to get this thing around the racetrack. And this is going to be interesting because, like you said, there's about 50 laps possible on fuel here. So with these guys pitting early, guys like Vulpes, who was running in second place before he brought it down, that is going to really mix it up with how long guys like Landry are choosing to stay out here, running far slower laps.
Joe Vulpes is the leader of the cars that did choose to pit. He's got about a 7-second lead over David Brenner, about 8 over his teammate Ricky Mandela.
Look at that
13
speed difference.
over Milliken, and a little bit more over Tommy Fox.
Something
Look
wrong with
at the speed.
Mandela.
Here he comes. Look at Vulpes coming up on lap traffic right here. Oh, my word. He's just zipping. Yeah, he's like, woo.
It's a crowded room right here for Vulpes,
Look
and he
at
does
that.
not have the patience to wait as he shoots the bottom right there. He's going to go around Jerry Rose, go for a BOGO special, and it looks like he's going to get that buy one, get one free for Joe Vulpes.
Wow, he passed about 4 guys in one straightaway and one turn right there. Vulpes wasting no time trying to battle to get back onto a lead lap. He's still got 5 cars ahead of him. One of them, of course, being Jason Landry with a huge gap up ahead.
Look at that exit speed.
Yeah, he ain't even messing around. Look at that. Gets around.
Here he goes.
Wide with Medina and Kelly.
Watch out, Jared Kelly. Oh, my God, into Jose Medina. Medina against the wall. Kelly wants nothing to do with it. None of that smoke, says Jake Hell. And that was a sketchy situation. And that is what happens when two cars, really 3 cars, on totally different tire situations come together, Mean Gene.
Oh, that was exciting right there. Little bit of contact. But we're going to keep rolling again. Lap number 41. We're closing in on that pit stop for the fellas who can't make fuel. Yep, I see Gambrel and Modric, and here comes Ferdiani as well.
Gambrel almost into Ferdiani. Heard him scream on the radio that he was coming into the pits, letting everybody know. Eric Gambrel been so impressive this season, specifically, Mean Gene. He has gotten his first wins in multiple leagues. He's visited Victory Lane on Friday nights as well as on Monday nights. So Gambrill just been so lights out fast this season, and here he is looking for that best of the rest spot.
Yeah, battling hard is that number 25 Chevrolet. Looks like Jared Kelly and Mark Dumont finally going to pull the parachute, bringing it down into the pits. No chance for them to make it the entire stage again. Kyle and Smorl, the two fellas that we're looking at, that they might stretch it. And maybe Eddie Peltz as well. Remember, Peltz did come down on lap number 2. And he's also running at that same speed as Kyle and Smorl. So perhaps this is something that Peltz is also thinking. We'd have to peek in the car and see what he's doing with that, with the loud pedal.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also see Jose Medina just bringing in, and we just heard over the radio, the 56 of Jason Landry going to bring it in this time. And boy, that's got to hurt me and Gene. This guy has been lights out fast, the class of the field today, and I've heard all days really in this league. But geez, he was able to run it longer than everybody else, and he did not really give up any time on the racetrack. Oh boy, that is not spell some positive things for the rest of the field. That 56 looking lights out like he always is.
Meanwhile, the lead's going to turn over to Jax Duval. Duval has shown great speed. No points for leading a lap, but again, we're talking about the 84 vans of Jax Duval up front. 8 cars have not pitted as of yet. 4 of them did take fuel on lap number 3. So we'll see just how far they can stretch that out. Looking at the cars coming off of pit road now, it still would appear Vulpes with the slight lead over those other guys. Duval finally making the call, gonna bring it down into the pits. You can see Landry making his way around before then to get that lap back.
Yeah, looks like Duval, going to bring it down this time. That's why he was so insistent on going to the bottom there. A little bit of a scary moment between him and Landry there. So that actually looks like it may give the lead over to the 51. Yeah, of Jerry Rose. So Jerry Rose back up front. We see this driver leading probably the majority of the laps in this league, that 51. So here he is in a familiar place. The speed driver.
All jokes aside, I think that's his first lead lap of the year. Good for that guy.
Mixed up the league because he's dominating others every other league he's in. But Jerry Rose, good for him though, gonna get that lap led, and even if it is during a pit cycle, me and Gene, it still means something because you are ahead of all the others that are on that same cycle as you. So that lap led for Rose, he's gonna know what that feels like, get the Marines that airtime, and now bring it down into the pits.
Up front now, turning it over to Golden Octopus, Garrett Austin. Austin going to lead his first lap of the race, and he did take fuel on lap number 2. Behind him, you can see Kyle and Smorl. So maybe he's out of fuel here. Look at his speed.
Maybe out of fuel. I don't see any sputtering there on the gauge, but he may be worried about it, maybe clutching through areas of the racetrack. Garrett Austin, me and Gene, another one that I'm very similar to Edward Peltz with. I've been racing against Garrett Austin since I got on the service years and years ago. I don't care to share how old I am. But Garrett Austin, an exceptional driver, someone who really, really improves at a high level, but he is going 70 miles per hour, I'm hearing my producer say, down the front stretch. 170. Okay, I was going to say 70 would feel like a little more noticeable. That looked like that Ricky Bobby scene from Talladega Nights, but 170 is certainly not very fast either.
No, clearly trying to stretch it out at this point, but you have to wonder how much Lunky's going to have. Last lap of the stage.
He's going to win the stage, though. Is he out of fuel? Wait. Did Kevin Kyle win the stage? Or did We're going to have to wait to see the results in a little bit, guys, because that was a photo finish for the stage. And I'll tell you what, Mean Gene, that would be a huge deal for the 31 of Kevin Kyle. He needs those points.
I'm taking a look.
And he is out of gas. Garrett Austin is very, very much out of gas.
It's not posted.
And we are under caution, it appears, as well. Yeah, Garrett Austin lighting up the radio, letting everyone know that he is out of gas, but we are as well under caution. Is there a caution break in this league?
So this is interesting.
Okay.
Zach, this is very interesting. You got 13 cars being shown on the lead lap, but a lot of these cars were in between the pace car and the leader. No. So I think a lot of these guys are going to end up getting a wave around. even though, I think a lot of these guys are going to end up getting that wave around here. This is going to be interesting.
I think so too.
I got something for you guys.
This is always, and it looks like Johnny on the spot has something for us to look at, but I agree, Mean Gene, and this is always a longer caution situation, a little bit sketchier. And here we go. Oh my God, it looks like Garrett Austin did get it.
Let's see if I could get this slowed down enough.
Look at Kevin Kyle with a head of steam. There it is. I think it's Garrett Austin. I definitely think it's Garrett Austin. That right there, great job, Johnny. That's really, really good camera work. I think it's Garrett Austin, guys. What do you think?
Looks like Garrett Austin.
Man, that's so close. Just look how big the speed difference is between Kevin Kyle and Garrett Austin on that one frame that Johnny's showing us.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hearing that Jake Johnson has ran out of fuel as well, guys. Yeah, Johnson getting it around. That car sounds very quiet. So the 31 and the 32, something about being in that number area, you weren't going to have enough gas. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't the 32. It was the 30. What is Garrett Austin here? I'm used to him being the 35, guys. The 87, that's a different number for GA. I'm used to him being the 35.
Meanwhile, lots of difficulty going on for Ricky Mandela at the moment.
Is that who's lighting up the radio right now?
Yeah, Ricky got a black flag for passing under caution.
And he is not in a good mood about it, Mean Gene.
No, that's unfortunate. Ricky needing a big day here today.
Sounds good. Yeah, black flags normally don't put drivers in the best of moods, but Mandela does seem to be one of those drivers that was kind of caught out at the wrong time with that oddly placed caution. Definitely what you insinuated there, Mean Gene. And here he is, stopped on the racetrack essentially, and what's right behind him is the pace car along with the field. So I'm thinking Mandela is going to go to the rear of the field here, and if I'm not mistaken, this may cost them a lap.
That would be a tough pill to swallow for the Final Four contender of Ricky Mandela. Right now, officials trying to figure out all of the car placement.
So there he is in
There we
front
go.
of the pace
There's
car
some
now.
lucky dogs now. Or not lucky dogs. Some wave arounds now making their way around the pace car.
Yeah, I think for drivers like Jerry Rose, who's going to want to be one of those wave around drivers, this is going to be a really... Oh, and I'm hearing that Kevin Kyle won the stage.
There it is. Yep.
Wow. What a finish for this stage. And oh man, Garrett Austin, all that gamble to not take off the stage. It's got to sting a little bit. But this is going to be great for drivers like Jerry Rose. The ones that got to pit right before that caution came out, Mean Gene, they're going to have a nice advantage here. As that wave around car, as we know, you can't bring it back down. You're stuck with what you got, and you got to start in the back of the field. But what they got is, I think, considerably better than those in front of them, who a lot of these guys pit 10, 15 laps before them.
Well, and this is interesting because as you're looking at it, 16 cars on the lead lap, those other cars came and pitted again. Medina, Kelly, Newman, all those guys either took right sides or just a little bit of fuel to make it to the end. Rose is one of those guys that did the same thing. He took right sides only and the limited fuel. I wonder how much fuel is in that 51. He's on the lead lap, but how many laps can he go? Away we go. Kevin Kyle is your leader. Chris Morrow behind him, and then two wide with Landry and Volpus. David Brenner rounding out the top five. Gambrel, Duval side by side. Double O Joe 8, Eddie Peltz 9, Michael Sara 10. On the outside row, little bit of confusion back there with Sara. Lots of cars off speed.
Yeah, there is, Mean Gene. Messy restart. The 9 coming down. David Medina is under penalty. Not entirely sure why. Maybe a little bit of confusion there, but here he comes down to the pits. Here comes 9. Here comes the 9 of Medina. That is a brutal, brutal penalty for David Medina. It looks like Jake Johnson may have a penalty as well, and I think Mandela as well. So that is just absolutely nearly race destroying for these drivers. Back up front, let's talk about Kevin Kyle real quick, me and Gene. We talked about that strategy he was using, making that fuel last, and boy, did that work out in spades, but that won't give you more speed than the 56.
No, outside lane, though, has better momentum. Kyle gonna hold the lead. Meanwhile, Volpus uses the outside to draw all the way up to the rear bumper of Landry. Now going to settle into third. Duval behind him. David Brenner still in the top 5. Kevin Kyle, though, is the story. Zach, how did he make it last that long? Great start here for Kevin Kyle.
You see, Garrett Austin was clearly trying the same thing, right? He tried to make it last, wasn't able to, and that is what won Kevin Kyle the stage, is having that extra bit of gas, not sputtering as he came across the start-finish line. To cancel that extra, I think, what, 1,000th of a second is what the stage likely was. So far, a literally perfectly executed race by Kevin Kyle, and those stage points are going to go a long way to guaranteeing him a spot in that Final Four and a chance to race for a championship against this driver looking for the lead on him right now.
Side by side, Landry on the bottom, but we've seen the outside have better exit speed. Kevin Kyle, lots of experience. Can Landry clear that front quarter? Gets almost to it. No, he can't. Good job by Kyle to hold it. Meanwhile, look at Volpus getting the best of both worlds. Just getting pulled around. Like, yeah, boys, let me save some fuel. You all do that, and I'll save tires. Again, Volpus, always in striking distance right here. Loves what he's seeing.
Caution is out.
What?
Yes, it is, and that is a shame, Mean Gene, because we were having some really good racing there. Kevin Kyle was holding so strong. He was just putting the squeeze on Landry. Through 1 and 2 there, Landry really went for it, and there was nothing he could do. Kevin Kyle was about to come out of that corner with a great run. I think Volpus was going to have a shot at Landry, but instead we are under caution, and I'm sure Johnny on the Spot, as always, has it for us.
You know who's got to be really sad? It's got to be Kelly, Medina, Fox, Newman, all those guys that tried to splash and go on the stage and then didn't risk it and pitted. Rose, who did risk it, now going to get to come in and is the beneficiary, stays in the lead lap, 12th place. Got to be thrilled with that.
I think so too, and I think the wreck involved David Medina, I think. Here, just heard someone light up the radio. I think Darby may be involved. It looks like maybe the drivers who were penalized there could have been the ones involved. The ones that had to serve that.
And they came back out on fire.
Exactly. They oftentimes come out back on the racetrack, not in the greatest of moods.
Well. Tell you what, this is as good a time as any. Let's go ahead and turn it over to our sponsor and see what KK Woodscapes has to say.
I think our producer is MIA right now, Major. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Run the KK commercial.
KK.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
All right. Thank you to KK, our amazing sponsor. Mean Gene had to take off, so you guys are stuck with me, Smokin' Joe, and Johnny Replay for the rest of the broadcast. I apologize for that, especially my involvement in it. But back up front is the 56 of Jason Landry. It looks like Kevin Kyle did bring it down that time, Joe. It looks like a handful of drivers did.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here, lap 60, so 90 to go in the race there, Zach. So what these boys are hoping for is that this thing goes green and they can make it on one stop. Those top four that stayed out, there's no way, unless they do some serious fuel saving, that they can make it on one stop.
Right.
So.
Okay, I found it.
I
got it for you guys.
to watch too.
And we do have a caution to watch, and I think this involved. Who did this involve, Johnny?
It involves Morrill.
Ooh, okay.
And a few more. So right here, he gets hit on the side, gets turned sideways, almost has it, then just keeps spinning out, and then the 7 of Peltz comes in, just T-bones it right there.
T-Bone City, baby.
And then we see
No.
they just lost control on track right there. And then I believe 87 just barely gets nicked. Let's follow him.
Oh! Is that the 56? No, not the 56. I'm sorry, that's not the 56. Of course not the 56. Never the 56.
That was 17.
Okay. Milk in there.
But it looked like, yeah, just the brunt of it was Smorl and Peltz.
Man. And that was T-Bone City. Nom nom for Edward.
This quick ad in here real quick. He didn't cause it, but he paid for it. Thanks, Todd. We're about to go green from our third caution of the race here. Get it in real quick for everybody. I know you guys love it.
Oh, that is a great sponsor. That might be my favorite one I've seen yet. So up front for this restart, we got Jax Duvall now going to be accompanying Jason Landry. This is going to be crazy. Few other drivers talking about still having damage deeper in the field. So this is going to be perhaps a little messy. And our leader from a couple laps ago, Kevin Kyle, all the way back in the 20s now. But here we go. As always, Jason Landry with an unbelievable restart. The 00 Bennett with a great restart as well. He's working that outside right now. He will likely have some great momentum after we get through 1 and 2. But Jax the Ball going to try to hold tough. Sliding up, door. Oh my goodness, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between those two, Joe.
Yeah, you know, it's very hard to hold it on the bottom on cold tires. You know, they may have gone through a heat cycle, but still probably not completely up to temp with how quick that caution came out. Duvall got a little bit tight, I think, there. Good job by both of them not to make any sort of contact. Jay-Z able to clear him for second there. Pretty easy. Duvall falls back to third. I think we had a couple guys come down for tires there, actually, on that pit stop. Looking at these pit times, Michael Sara in 8th and Jerry Rose in 9th. Looks like they both put tires on there. So we're going to have to plot their progress on this run.
Interesting. And then you also look at the 32 of Jake Johnson. He is ripping the top. Not sure if he took tires, but he certainly looks like he did. There's a ton of speed in that orange 32 right there. And he is just 2 spots behind Jerry Rose, right behind Jose Medina, one of those guys that he is racing against. Medina needs a great finish here today to give himself a chance at that championship. Up front, you still have Bennett putting the pressure on Landry. Bennett has been such an impressive driver to me as of late. Been getting to watch him on Tuesdays as well, where he's a rookie over in that league. And man, he's been lights out fast. Already brought that one to victory lane. So not surprised to see him running in the top 5 here. And then Jax Duvall. Rust, not a thing for the driver of the 84.
Yeah, of course. Good old 00 Joe, I believe, is Mean Gene's been calling him. Jay-Z Bennett there, somebody that's been running part-time with us, runs with the Ignition Point boys, so a lot of speed over there, and he's been showing it here going full-time this season on both Tuesday and Sunday. Good run here for him today. Struggling, it looks like, a little bit in the dirty air. Landry might set up a move here for Duvall.
Ooh, here we go, yeah. Duvall going to try to peek below the apron there. Totally legal here at Las Vegas. One of the more fun things about this racetrack. It's kind of like a little racing playground for a lot of these drivers. One of the easier, you could say, racetracks, but one that can certainly bite you on the long run. But starting to get a little bit more single file up front. Towards the middle of the field, you're still seeing a decent amount of battling. You see Jake Johnson and Jose Medina still trying to negotiate their positions. And then behind them, Joe, I'm looking at Sarah, and I'm not really seeing the forward progression I think you would expect with these new tires. Maybe he's waiting for that plateau point we talk so much about, or maybe we're just at a racetrack where there just isn't enough off-throttle time to make those matter a ton.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, I think, before the tires start coming into effect for those guys, especially Sara and Rose. You can see them, they're pretty close, though, to the boys right in front of them. Right now, everybody that pitted on lap 60 still hasn't passed those front 4 that pitted last on 52, that last pitted on the stage break. Volpa's still the first one out of the group. He's in 5th, though. Hasn't passed any of those front 4. Gambrel's worked his way up to 6th out of the group, but still none of them have gotten past those front 4 that stayed out altogether.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then we definitely have some sleeping giants hanging out around, it's like 23rd place. Yeah, it is. You have, there it is. You have David Medina and Kevin Kyle. You just saw Kevin Kyle mixing up with Jason Landry, kind of proving that he had the speed if he gets the right situation to hold off Landry for a handful of laps. That was not enough to convince Kevin Kyle to want to keep that track position. He instead is still thinking about the grand scheme of this race, putting it, I think it looks like, to me, Joe, unless you have different data, it looks like only fuel, or else that 31 would be further up this running order.
Yeah, 5-second
Ooh,
pit
big
stop
hit.
for him right there. It looks like he might be struggling just a little bit. Speaking of guys struggling, I know you just touched on David Medina. He's right now 23rd place, sitting many, many laps down. Looks like 4 laps down at this time. Not the return that David Medina wanted. Not sure what happened to him there, that he's ended up 4 laps down. I believe he may have gotten a black flag on one of those restarts there. Maybe the one where Mandela got the penalty as well. Just not able to recover. Like Mandela, who right now is in 15th, the second car, a lap down to the 54 of Jose Medina.
Yeah, Medina was one of those cars that had to serve a penalty on that last restart. I heard the 9 light up the video, or I'm sorry, light up the voice chat and let the field know that he had to bring it down. What I can't believe, Joe, is that you'd assume, unless it was a 40-second hold, but I was assuming likely a drive-through. How did that cost him 4 laps?
Maybe some admin duties got in the way there too for David. You know, maybe a little bit rusty on the admin return here as well. Good job by him to be here today. I don't know if he was planning on being here, but great job by him. I know with his move been very chaotic to step up and be able to come back for a day, make sure everything ran properly today.
Yeah, I agree. And you hear Jerry Rose and Jose Medina chatting on the radio, and it's always funny to watch two chatting on the radio as they're battling it out for very important positions. Jerry Rose trying to use those advantageous tires, and he tries to use the top, and he gets into the wall a little bit there, Joe. Oh, man, I mean, you and I, people who have been put in, thousands of laps around this racetrack. I don't know if the top is where I'd be looking with those fresh tires.
The way it's driving, like the Cup car's been changed a lot since the last time we were here. Last time we were here, very loose car. This time, it's very tight. So the Highline might be a little bit more viable. The thing I'm looking at here, though, is it's not really benefiting Jose to really be battling with Jerry Rose.
No,
because
I agree.
Looking at the battle on the track, he's got a pretty decent advantage. Ricky Mandela is a couple cars back still here of these two. You don't want to use up those tires because Jose's racing for the lucky dog. And he's not racing Jerry Rose for position.
Whoa!
And there's the other thing that could happen. Even if that was a 0x hit, it could take the lucky dog away if there was a caution at the same time.
And you lose a pair of underwear. So it's bad for everybody. But I totally agree. And look what that did. It opened up the door for Jake Johnson. He's going to also just follow Jerry Rose right through that doorway. And he's going to likely get this position as well. And I cannot agree more with you, Joe. That is my biggest pet peeve. Like, as you know all too well, I'm a pretty aggressive race car driver. But one thing that I try not to do is never fight for positions that don't make sense to neither of us, right? If there is nothing to gain from us fighting, I like to let that person go. Because I feel like that favor will likely be returned later in the race or later in the season to me, and they can forgive me for all the dumb things I did otherwise. But that is one of those things that it can irritate drivers very much. But Jose Medina, he has a lot to race for today, so I can completely understand as well why he doesn't want to let anyone pass him right now. That lucky dog, so important to protect this late in the race.
Yeah, that car gap that he had, the buffer is really starting to fade now. If Sam's able to clear him here on the high side, that's only going to leave a 1-car buffer between him and Mandela for that lucky dog spot. So if a caution were to come out, he'd still be in a good spot. But yeah, you can see Mandela almost on his back bumper now.
Yeah, he really is. He's getting there quick. And talk about a driver that's driving kind of with a head of steam right now. Mandela not happy about those black flags that put him a lap down in the first place. Definitely driving a little bit irritated right now. So definitely not one you want to mix it up with. But here we go, just like that. That was a matter of 1 lap, Joe. And he has closed up, maybe over a second to that 54?
Yeah, and I think this is that thing we were talking about. You know, the high side's really good to pass. And the 54 is just kind of bogged down there on the bottom, getting a little bit tight maybe underneath some of these boys, not able to get the same corner speed that the other guys are. And I think Mandela's going to try and take advantage of here, maybe go to the outside, thinking about it.
Such a frustrating situation for Medina, and you kind of saw it there. Even the difference. Oh, as he goes real deep into the corner, nearly gets into the 71. That was a little bit close there, Joe. But yeah, I completely agree. He's going to have to try to figure that out. And I think what's hurting him just as much as what you just alluded to is just that lack of entry. It's better now that he's a little bit more single file. But what's even worse about being in that bottom line is how much that sacrifices your entry. You're entering a full lane or two below where you'd like to. That arc isn't there, and that's where that lack of speed comes from.
Exactly, and you know, looking at this right now, these are the two playoff drivers that needed the points the most or a race win, and they're both the ones a lap down right now, so they're both in the most unenviable position, not only points-wise, but in this race-wise with 70 to go. So they're going to need something to turn around here pretty fast if they want to get back into it. You know, looking around, most of these guys racing single file, though. Jerry Rose looks like he's side-by-side with the lap car of Jake Johnson. That's about it right now.
Yeah, I agree, and that's going to be interesting. And on top of that, to make things a little bit more complicated, this whole field is so mixed up in terms of pitting, in terms of how many tires they have left, and if they have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. There is the possibility that we have a caution and not all the lead lap cars pit. And if that is what happens, then only the lucky dog is getting their lap back. There will not be a wave around. So that lucky dog is unbelievably paramount right now for Medina and Mandela. And it looks like Mandela was able to complete that pass. And then Jake Johnson, really interested in me as well, using that top line. And Jerry Rose, oh boy, I think he may have blew his load a little early with those fresh tires, Joe, and that is so easy to do, right? You get excited about those fresh tires, you know you're faster than everybody else, but before you know it, you drove them off and you put yourself in a worse situation than you were before.
And he's got Jose Medina on his back bumper again. He's going to be saying, man, I just passed you a few laps ago. How'd you get back here?
Exactly, and that is always the worst feeling, is it not? You're like, I thought... he has worse tires than me. What am I doing wrong? But Medina wrapping that top. You know he wants nothing to do with the bottom anymore.
Yeah, Medina, though, look at that run he got. And now he's getting away from Mandela again. So now he's got that buffer going once again from Medina to Mandela, running that high line. And now he's got a bit of a maybe half second, 3/4 of a second advantage. So Medina back into the catbird seat if there's a caution flag.
And you just hear Jerry Rose light at the radio and say, we not saving tires anymore? You're not, Jerry. I think that's the big difference there. Oh, sketchy moment there, Joe. Is that Garrett Austin?
Yeah, Garrett Austin, who, remember, he ran out of fuel after winning the stage, we believe. He's right now in 21st place, not having the day that he wanted. Looks like he's being scored 2 laps down currently at this point in time. So he's going to need a lot of cautions to get back into this one.
And then look who is behind them, a face and a race car that we have not talked about since the earlier portion of this race. And I'm not sure how this season's gone. I'm not sure if it's been your typical Jared Kelly season, but that's how it feels all the time. Jared Kelly comes out, qualifies well, is lights out fast at the beginning of the race, and then some bullcrap happens that he had nothing to do with that fires him in the back of the field, and he spends the rest of it dealing with either a damaged race car or track position that he has nothing to do with. Jared Kelly, same story, different day here for me.
Yeah, so he did end up missing the playoffs this season because he had to miss a couple of races, had a couple of conflicting things happen to him. He missed a few races. And then in the races that he did show up to, it was just not the finishes that he needed. He would run up front, get involved in some wrecks with some people, and then end up finishing 20th, 25th, or even worse sometimes due to DNFs, getting involved in other people's stuff as well. Just not the luck that he needed this season. That's why he's in the best of the rest title and not the playoff battle.
Right, and Jared Kelly, I think, I'm knowing him and a good friend of the channel and someone who's really made a lot of what we do here possible. He loves trophies, so he's going to be going hard for that best of the rest title, and he's definitely the favorite to win it, as he's currently working on the inside of Garrett Austin. Lap before that, Jerry Rose completing a beautiful pass on the 87 of Austin. What I'm loving so much about Jerry Rose is you're seeing not so much, I mean, you're seeing more speed just like you would any other driver, putting in more reps, but the racecraft you're seeing from Jerry Rose is so much better. And I think you can thank all of that to Jordan Fisher, his new coach. I loved how you just saw Jerry in that previous lap wrap the top, come out with a massive run, and not just that, Joe, but he knew what to do with it. He comes out of the run, he immediately shoots low, completes the pass on the backstretch, and then gives himself a nice wide arc through 3 and 4. That is a great move, but now Garrett Austin has something to say about it, does he not?
Yeah, Garrett Austin, he needs a miracle to get back into this one. He can still get back up to 20th. Jake Johnson's not too far ahead of him for himself. Oh, and the 51 gets tight.
misses the corner entirely.
That could have been really bad. Came across the nose of Jared Kelly. No harm, no foul, though, is what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah, that could have been real bad, and I'm sure that dirty air that went across the nose of Kelly was just wonderful for that 55. These next-gen race cars, I don't know if there's a worse dirty air car in the entire service than these things right here. What I am hearing, though, Joe, is I'm hearing some cars shouting out there and pitting. It sounds like Todd Dunn's going to pit here. Does Todd Dunn have a unique situation, or should we expect this to... Oh, Brenner pitting as well. So Brenner, one of our faster cars today, or really every day, in that 22, going to pit.
Yeah, so he was one of the 4 that stayed out, remember. He knew he couldn't make it on the one stop to the end, so he's going to short pit it a little bit to put tires on early, try and get an advantage that way, maybe hope for a late race caution for it to cycle back out in his favor. We'll see the other 3 right now, Landry, Bennett, and Duvall, still 1, 2, and 3. Looks like Duvall might be under a little bit of pressure from Vulpes right now. But those 3 still 1, 2, and 3 at this point in the race. But if they want to make it to the end on this next tank of fuel, they need to go to about lap 103, 104 to be in a decent spot to make it.
And what's going to be really interesting about that is how long these guys want to make this run last. That first run, the only real green flag cycle we've gotten so far since we had a caution break up the second one was Jason Landry being willing to run it longer than everybody else. And that always is kind of a double-edged sword, right, Joe? I think you know more about that than most people because you have really shown a lot of these drivers in this league how to do that the right way. But if you come in too early, you're going to get that advantage of leaving your competitors out there and getting those faster laps while you're on those fresh tires. But oftentimes, I mean, I can say I'm someone that's far more experienced in the trucks and the ARCA cars. And in the ARCA car, running that or doing that early strategy normally doesn't work out. We saw on Friday it was better than usual, but normally the back end of it is even worse. So that's going to be interesting because Jason Landry's fall off is nearly non-existent.
Yeah, so looking at the lap times, that last time by was a 31.2, so that's about a second to 1 1/4 seconds off of usual lap times around here on fresh tires. So tire fall off is definitely a thing. But like you were saying, you know, the Cup car is very similar to the ARCA car, where if you short pit it too much, you're just going to give up way too much time on the back end of it if it goes green. It's good to make up track position early, but you're going to need a caution for it to level yourself out.
Yeah, completely. You really are. And it's definitely one of those things that, like you said, that 1 second difference is huge. If JZ Bennett decided to short pit this, he would take the lead. I think even 1 second would be enough because he's within 1 second of Landry. So as long as he gets in and out of the pits as fast as he possibly can, because you know Landry's going to nail his marks there, that's going to be possible. And look at this, actually, for third place, we got Vulpes and Duvall mixing it up. What great driving by Jax Duvall here. Really can't say enough about that 84. I think, as far as I can see it, of these top drivers in the field, probably the one getting the least amount of reps, the least amount of time on track this season at least. Jax Duvall, someone I'm used to seeing on every league I look at between MRL and BRL, but this year looks like some life things got in the way, but that did not affect his speed.
No, he's had a very good season. Been playing the strategies really well to give himself the most points possible out of every race. Saw it all the way in the first playoff race at Auto Club, all the way to today as well, getting some good stage points once again, putting himself in a very safe spot right now where, right now, very safe right now as the third driver in. Kevin Kyle will be the fourth one in as they currently run on the racetrack.
Solid hit, though, to the wall for the 84. Looks like he'll get away with that one. I mean, I won't lie, Joe. If anyone knows how to hit the wall and not damage their car, it's Jax Duvall. That guy gets away with so much, and I'm always jealous of that when I'm watching him behind him. I'm like, how is he doing that over and over again and not losing speed, one, and not damaging his car, two? It blows my mind. But there's a talent to that as well. And speaking of people who know how to hit the wall and be fast doing it, Eric Gambrill in 5th place. Man, I just cannot say enough about this driver right here. Eric Gambrill is just so unbelievably impressive, Joe. He is easily, I think, the newest to this platform than anyone on the field with him right now. And he's just taking to it so quickly. And I've said this about Eric a few times. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Ross Chastain when he first went to Trackhouse. So much speed, so much talent. But oftentimes mixing it up with drivers I wouldn't say driving over his head because the talent is there, but I think feeling like he deserves to be up front winning races. But at the same time, a lot of these drivers unfamiliar with Eric still.
Yeah, so, man, he's come a long way here, I'd say, in the last month or two of being better at racecraft pretty much here. I think that's where he's really needed to put his work in. It hasn't been the raw speed side of it where he needed to put the work in. It was more the racecraft side, you know, making sure he's not using up the tires too soon, making sure he does a good job getting through pit cycle without giving up too much time, that kind of stuff.
Not using up cars.
Not using up car, that kind of stuff, right? Not the speed part of it. So right here showing how he's got really good speed. Also showing how he's on the right strategy if it goes green. Him and Vulpes right now are first and second on the guys that can for certain make it to the end with that pit stop from lap 60. So everybody else still
Landry
trying to
this
save
time.
enough fuel. Yeah, Landry going to have to save a lot of fuel again here.
Yeah.
He's only gone 49 laps this time. And that was with the caution flag that came out, remind you. That came out. So 49 laps with a caution in the middle of it.
And Duvall going to follow him. Duvall going to follow him. Yeah, that's really interesting, Joe. I mean, clue me on what you think is going through that mind of the 56. My guess is he's thinking, I'm so much faster than the rest of this field. I'm going to pit early. I'm going to be able to save enough fuel. And these undercut laps, right, that are going to buy me a second or two against that 00, that will be enough for me to just drive away in the sunset. That has to be what's going through his mind, right?
No, I don't think that's what's going through his mind at all, because it's too early. You know, went 49 laps, but with the caution laps involved in that, you know, not able to save as much as you really wanted to under green. So 49 laps under complete green is going to be a lot different than 49 with caution laps involved. So those guys are going to be in a little bit of trouble. JZ Bennett here, I think he's going to come this time, might be in a little bit better of a spot.
Yeah, I agree. I like what Bennett's doing here more. I think, and like you just said, I think he can go more all out. That is a fast entry. There you go, Jay. Oh, he made me nervous there, Joe. He was bringing that thing in hot.
I think he got tricked by the early pit line that doesn't actually work here.
Oh my gosh, I hate that. I forgot that's here. It's always the tracks that look easy that are the hard ones, right? Like Miami and Pocono also look so easy. You're like, oh, it's right there. Nope. Those barrels, and also just the how hard is it to get that thing yawed down? But I agree with you. I think Landry's going to have to make some sacrifices. He must feel like there's enough speed in that 56 to do that, because Bennett likely gets to just go all out now. Plus, he's going to be a little bit further behind now. I think Duvall, if I were to guess, I think Duvall will likely go ahead of Bennett here.
Yeah, we'll go back there. These guys that are still out there, they're definitely going to be
it's close.
To make it. And
it's not even close. Yeah. No, it's not even close.
Yeah, Duvall's off in the sunset. So right now, Landry has a pretty sizable advantage back to Duvall. Duvall's going to have a pretty sizable advantage over JZ Bennett, over 00 Joe there. So those three are going to be the first three so far that have cycled. But actually, who's cycled in front of them so far? David Brenner. Remember, he short pitted. Right now, he's going to be the effective leader of the race if this all cycles through. So he's right now looking pretty solid. If there's a caution that comes out here pretty soon. Needs everybody in front of him to pit, though. Edward Pelt's coming down this time, it looks like, as well as Rick Modric.
And he did have a couple buffers to give him a little bit of a, I guess you could say, peace of mind. It was Jerry Rose, and it was also Jared Kelly, as Eric Gamble screams that he's coming to the pits this time. But that is a interesting situation for Brenner, because there's one thing that we all know about that 22 of David Brenner is that he can save tires. He can save tires with the best of them if he can reach that plateau point by the time the 56 gets to him, which, oh boy, that's looking awful enthusiastic right now, but it's possible. We'll see. But Landry, he is like a shark in the water, and he is nearly there, and I can already hear the Jaws music.
Yep, and looking at the guys that stayed out, so two guys still out there that haven't pitted that are on the lead lap. That's Jared Kelly and Kevin Kyle. Ricky Mandela Sr. has not pitted yet. He, I believe, is still being scored a lap down with where he's running.
You are correct. Medina, Fox, and Mandela bringing in this time. Here comes Mandela. Medina should be shortly afterwards. Here he comes. Picture perfect. Fox as well. Great job
Kyle
by these
stays
drivers, Joe. Kevin Kyle. So he's up to some cute stuff. Like I always said, Kevin Kyle being adorable like a golden retriever. And here he is leading the race with only 40 to go. He's going to have to bring it down soon. I mean, Joe, you're the pit reporter on Tuesday nights. You tell me what the heck is going through that 31's mind, because I'm not fully understanding this.
Caution.
That's all. Yep. And that's what's going through his mind. Get to it, Johnny. I have no idea who that was. It looks like it was maybe Gambrel.
Pit exit.
Oh, yeah, and that, it looks like the left side, the side skirt, is completely dented into the race car. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe on this camera angle right here, you'll see it. Look right past that front driver's side wheel. That side skirt is completely bent in. Oh, boy. That was a unique hit, but the car itself seems to be driving okay. We'll see what happened to Gambrel. But that is a well-timed caution. Kevin Kyle's going to lose his track position here.
Okay, so
go down.
there's going to be some chaos here. So there's 4 cars on the lead lap. So you got Kevin Kyle, who hasn't pitted yet. Brenner,
and like
who did
2 laps
the
of
short.
fuel, right?
Yep. So Brenner, who did the short pit. Landry and Duval, who pitted on 101. Jared Kelly just came out of the pits. He's going to get the lucky dog here. And then everybody else is going to have to take the wave around if they want to get back on the lead lap. Ricky Mandela Sr. was able to get on-off pit road. And he's going to be in a position here to take the wave around as long as he's top 4 pit.
And yeah, there it is. We see
Okay, so I got
Kyle.
it.
Okay, and we got the wreck here from Johnny Replay. Let's see it.
I'm confused as to why this is a caution. So educate
It's one
me
of
a
those?
little bit. It's one of
Okay,
those.
let's take a look. So we're below the racing surface, so I see your confusion already.
Yeah, they're coming out of pit right here. It's Gambrel and Volpes.
My guess is
right?
he's about to spin onto the racing surface.
It looks like he hit the seam, because I believe there's a seam there, and then the car did not want to turn for him. He goes, turns around, unless it's because he hit the cone, but that's the inside cone.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Johnny. That should not have been a caution.
Doesn't go back on.
Oh!
Whoa!
Ah, Jerry!
Who is that?
That was
Jerry Rose. He's too old for that.
Comes by him, but
Brown pan moment.
let's go to him real quick, see where he was coming from.
Why was he there? Oh, okay.
Oh, he's coming out of pits too.
Oh!
Oh!
But then from there, just nothing else happens.
And so Gambrel's fine. He doesn't spin again.
Yeah,
that was off the racing surface, Joe. That's
that was
really
the
interesting.
caution. Yeah, that was the caution right there.
I bet one guy who would love that caution was Eric Gambrel. Oh my goodness, that's one of those spins where you're like, no, and then you see the caution, you're like, oh, okay. I guess it's not so bad.
Well, now he's going to have to take the wave around is going to be the other problem. All these boys right now, so pretty much 6th through 13th here. Double O Joe got the lucky dog. So Kelly back to Mandela, all going to take the wave around to get back on the lead lap. Some other boys I think are going to take the wave around to get back 1 lap down. You're going to see them all fly past here, right here and now, because Kevin Kyle is going to cycle to the front to the pace car. He's the leader of the race.
Kevin Kyle is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers here today. And that is some Kevin Kyle type stuff. And look at this wave around line. Oh my goodness, looks like we're at Disneyland waiting in line for Space Mountain right now. There are so many people in line behind that pace car. I would not be surprised if we add a lap to this caution. We'll see how that devolves. But this is intriguing, Joe, because we saw earlier in this race that Kevin Kyle had it within him, and he has the speed in 31 to hold off that 56. And not just that, I think he'll have fresher tires, right?
So looking at the pit times, everybody but David Brenner put on tires on this caution here. So David Brenner, who had the oldest tires out of those guys, 4 guys on the lead lap, is the one not to throw on another set of tires. I find that very interesting here.
Yeah, Brenner, I think one you see do that every now and again. I think a track position forward driver. But look at just how bizarre this field is right now, as it looks like all the wave around cars are going to catch up.
There they are.
Here they come. Lights off the pace car. We're going to go green this time. And look at Jax Duvall just completely all over that rear of Kevin Kyle. Feeling like Kevin Kyle's used to, but never that comfortable. But here we go. And this is going to be a fascinating restart as we have just under 30 to go. No, I should say 40 to go, I'm sorry. And great jump by the 31 of KK. Is he going to use it outside? He's going to have a full arc here. And then you see Jax Duvall and Jason Landry so close, going to 1 and 2, nearly making contact. And they're going to be side by side to the exit 3 and 4. Duvall keeps it off the wall miraculously. What a job by the 84. And side by side through 3 and 4, Joe.
Yep, this might be the battle for the race win right here.
Yeah.
Kevin Kyle, you know, we haven't seen what his speed has been all day. This is the first time we've seen him up front. David Brenner, we know he's on older tires, so he's going to fade here at least probably in about 10 laps or so, unless there's a caution that comes out. So I think the battle is who gets to Kevin first right now, and there goes Duvall around Landry.
What a move by Landry to shoot the top. I think he was pretty upset with his decision there when he went to 1 and 2, and he followed the 22. The one thing you don't want to do in these situations, Joe, as we both know, is follow the worst lap tire car. What a move by Duvall. He looks to the inside. He might have him clear by 1 and 2.
Yeah, I just think this is a case of Kevin not pushing the car all race, you know, saving the fuel early on and everything, where he doesn't know where the true pace of the track is right now. So he's a little bit out of his element trying to get readjusted and maybe not pushing it as hard as he needs to right now. And now might over-adjust and push it too hard. We'll see what he does here, trying right now to stay in front of Landry and keep in touch with Jax Duvall.
That is such a good point, and we talk so much about that on Mondays. There's two things that can really hurt you, and it's what we saw Kevin Kyle do here, not finding that limit, right? Not finding that like jagged edge to where you are 1 millimeter away from making that mistake that will spin you out, as he is side by side with Landry, door banging down the backstretch. He's trying to find it now, but just that, the guy on the outside of him, Joe, Landry, he has been in clean air all day. This is the first time that 56 has had to feel what dirty air is like here at Las Vegas, and sometimes when it happens this late in a race, that is a huge disadvantage. He only has 30 laps to figure this out.
Yeah, so talking about the playoff picture here at this point is Landry clears Kevin Kyle, Duvall with the lead, so it doesn't matter if he, right now, for him points-wise, if he ends up winning this thing, that would lock him in. Landry's won the other 2 races in the round, so he's already safe to make it to the championship for. Kevin Kyle right now running in 3rd is in a very safe spot as well, and Joe Vulpes, we knew how good he was on points coming in, running in the top 10 right now in 6th. The thing with Kevin that I want to add as an extra thing is, you know, he really needs to think about where he is points-wise here as well. You know, if you get too aggressive and you make a mistake and get yourself wrecked, Ricky Mandel is back on the lead lap right now. He's in 13th. If Kevin has a mistake that takes him out of the race, that could drop him all the way back as far as 23rd place. When Mandela on the lead lap, Mandela could find a way to work his way up to finish in the top 5. That could be a huge point swing that takes Kevin out. So might be driving a little bit more conservative here as well, just thinking about points.
That is such a good point as well, that he, as much as that win feels like it may be possible, it may be available to that 31, that's not what he's racing for today. He needs a chance at that championship, and today is the last day to make sure that that is what your destiny is going to be. Kevin Kyle has been so exceptional all season long, and I think this has really been his breakout year in every series. We've seen Kevin Kyle running better than he ever has in the past, and that's saying a lot. He is not a slow driver. Man, it would be brutal for it to fall apart here on the the home stretch of this regular season and these playoffs before you can go race for a championship where anything can happen. Today is not the day you need to be Jason Landry. Behind them, we always talk about how the cream rises to the top in these leagues, and it certainly did today, because look at how long it took Jared Kelly to get back where he belongs. What a phenomenal drive by that 55.
Yeah, he pitted at the right time, and it cycled him up to 4th place here. Right now, he's got Double O Joe, JZ Bennett, and Joe Vulpes right behind him in 5th and 6th. So you can see how much all this chaos has really cycled things out, because you got 1st through 6th right now, it looks like, are all lead lap cars, like on the racetrack running order-wise. And then behind them, Tommy Fox right now is the next car in line. He's racing to be the lucky dog at this point, with Jose Medina, who's a little bit behind, looks like about a 1.5 seconds. And then, of course, you got Paul Ferdiani and the 87 of Garrett Austin. Those guys are both 2 laps down right now in 18th and 19th behind Tommy Fox there. So a lot of jumbling of the order here due to that caution when it came out.
Yeah, this is a weird one. While it hasn't felt like an attrition race necessarily on track, not a ton of cautions at all, a lot of clean driving, and not too many casualties, it kind of has become one, and really just because of where the cautions have fallen. They have really put these drivers in some bizarre situations. Drivers who may have had a chance for a top 5 or maybe even a win are currently mired a lap down by no fault of their own, just pitting at the wrong time. Medina being one of those right now, and like you said, Medina not making any meaningful forward progress towards the other lucky dog of Tommy Fox, who is doing what he has to do. He's been mixing it up there, but Tommy Fox keeping the aggression. Such a good driver is Fox. Didn't make the Wednesday DDIRL MRL race, and that was a shocker to the whole league. I think that will likely make the Vortex Racing League news, is that Tommy Fox missing a race is crazy. So I just felt like after seeing that Fox was going to come out and just have something lit up underneath him, really trying to come out here and prove just how good he is.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him, see what happened in that qualifying session. He said you can't hit the wall if you want to make the show.
Yeah, so, that is, I can verify that's true.
So that's what happened. His hot lap ended up hitting the wall in the hot lap. The warm-up lap, he got that one in, but the hot lap, where he needed it to be the money lap, ended up hitting the wall. Not able, the warm-up, the banker lap wasn't good enough to get him in the show.
Well, I'm no you, so I couldn't put it on the poll, but I did the opposite. I had a good first lap, and I was like, oh, cool, okay. And then I blew my hot lap. I completely blew it. But I remember just looking at the qualifying spots and being like, cool, there's 6 below me. I'm good. For those that don't know, huge league over there on Wednesdays. Sending a few drivers home right now. But, oh, my goodness, look at this with Kevin Kyle and Jared Kelly mixing it up so close. Jay-Z Bennett right behind them. And the lap before that, you saw Volpis peek to the inside of Bennett. So there is a lot of contesting for positions here, and it really seems like this track, maybe as the suns come down, is becoming very momentum based.
Yeah, that high line really been key to use here at this point in the race. Jared Kelly able to use it right there.
Whoa!
Perfect example of it. Able to use the momentum of the high side to keep that 3rd position for the time being. 23 laps left though. Got a long time to really hold on to that spot, especially with Kevin Kyle, Jay-Z Bennett, Joe Volpis right up his tailpipe pretty much at this point. All of them right in a line with each other.
Oh, and we've got beef, Joe. I'm not sure if you have your radio on right now. But Jose Medina and Eric Gambrill exchanging words, not happy with how these two drove each other. Eric Gambrill threw a aggressive pass, we'll leave it at that. But Jose Medina laps down, and Eric Gamble responding, basically saying, I don't know why you're driving me that way, man. You were laps down. I had every right to do that. I'm not going to take a side on that one, Joe, but 2 drivers right there. 2 aggressive and very talented drivers unhappy with one another. That's always a formula that works out well in the end.
Yeah, Johnny, I don't know if you're able to find that, but I'd love to be able to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, Johnny, if you can find that beef. We heard Gambrill upset about some blocks he saw, and then the pass by Gambrill apparently was a grown man pass. And then as we look up towards, we're on it right there, Jared Kelly has made his way around Kevin Kyle. Kevin Kyle kind of leading right now, and I really like what you said earlier, Joe. I think all these kind of fuel-saving laps where you're running very conservative, you feel like you're hitting your marks, your tires end up being very healthy towards the end of the run compared to others, and then you don't know how to go all out. But it looks like Johnny Replay has some beef to show us, and here we go.
Yeah, I saw it live happening, and yeah, that's a healthy hit.
He's like, move! That's some ludicrous right there.
Yeah, it's like when you get shoulder checked by somebody.
Straight up.
You're just there.
Excuse me, coming through, bye. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think anything.
Yeah, I think Jose was just trying to run his line and didn't expect the 25 to be there, is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, Eric said, screw your line. And then, yeah, I think Eric also, I mean, that's one thing too. If Eric did see those blocks, Joe, like, then he's not gonna give me the lane. He's not gonna give me the lane. So I'm gonna have to create it, and I think that's exactly what you saw there. But in other news, he's catching up to Eric Gambrel. Has this been resolved?
We'll have to keep an eye on that in the back of our mind, because Jason Landry looks like he's closed back in on Duvall. 18 laps left in the race. Are we coming to that point where the tires might start to be flipping in the favor of Landry? We know how good he is at saving tires in these cars, and it might be coming back to his favor here. Landry was in a similar position last week, where he was running in second place with the laps winding down. Ended up there being a caution that got him into the lead of the race. We'll see if he's able to get around Duvall, or if Duvall is going to be able to put on a dirty air masterclass here for 17 laps.
Duvall's going to have to get real creative here, because I think all he hears in his helmet right now is dun 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 dun. That is literally all he's hearing, because that shark is in the water and it smells a lot of blood, and it doesn't help that car is red in front of him. Jason Landry has just been a master on these long runs here today. The longer the run, it seemed like the bigger the lead got for that 56. So, man, like you said, is not his only hope, but his best weapon for Jax Duvall right now has got to be dirty air. He's got to use that to his advantage.
Yeah, for certain. Dirty air, this is one of those cars where it really started, where you had to start to learn how to use dirty air, right? This is where it all started, just because of how it translated from real life over to iRacing, and how it's really updated and evolved over time. I feel like some of those skills had to be brought over to the truck at this point, especially when we go to mile and a half and larger. So, you know, Duvall does run in some truck series stuff as well. So able to get maybe some extra experience at using dirty air compared to somebody like Landry, who just runs in the Cup car.
Especially Landry, also a road course ringer before moving over to ovals and dominating there as well. But you're right, he likely doesn't know the intangibles quite as well as Jax Duvall.
I think he got the wall.
Driver, and he gets into the wall there. He's looking for that clean air. He wants to be where Duvall isn't, but he definitely misjudged that corner, went in far too deep. And now with 14 to go, Duvall gets about, what, 3 or 4 hundredths of a second of a buffer on top of that. This seems doable for the 84 Duvall, and we all know, whether it's for the lead or not, he is never an easy pass. So this will be very interesting. So far, so good for that 84, doing everything he needs to do.
Yeah, right now, it's a 6.5 of a second lead. So Duvall doesn't have to worry. He could don't want to get the guard down, but he doesn't have to throw the dirty air as much as he was. But look at this. You got to see Landry closing back in now, under half a second again. It looks like just Landry's just that little bit better right now on his tires than Duvall. It's just once he gets within that bubble that he can't get something done.
Right, and then like we just saw too, if you approach that bubble wrong, if you get in the dirty air the wrong way and it shoots you up into the wall, creates a mistake, you're going to lose all that you just worked so hard to get onto that bumper, the 84. All that time will be gone, and he'll lose hundredths of a second again and have to re-rack and do it again. With only 12 to go, I'd say Landry probably has 1 or 2 more shots at this if he wants to get by Duvall, and he's going to have to make it count. And all Duvall has to do is play ultra-aggressive defense, put him in unfavorable situations, take time off his laps, and not to mention, too, Joe, they have a real nice buffer back to third.
Yeah, looking through, just to go through the rest of the field here real quick, through the rest of the boys on the top 10 and on the lead lap currently. You know, we look here, you know, Jason Landry currently in second, Jax Duvall leading. He's led 28 laps, leading the race right now. Landry in second, led the most by far, 84. You know, we look further back, Jared Kelly doing a good job right now in third place. Kevin Kyle up to fourth after starting in 8th. Joe Volpes in 5th right now at this point in the race after everything with the way the cautions fell. Rick Modric doing a good job. He just moved past Jay-Z Bennett for 6th spot and now right behind Volpes potentially for 5th. Jay-Z Bennett going backwards a little bit there, the 00 Joe, falling back to 7th here in the last few laps. Eric Gambrel's recovered up to 8th place after starting in 17th, and of course that spin as the last caution of the race. Jerry Rose, what a performance for him today. Started back in 15th, just had a very quiet day for the most part, other than maybe a few little moments, but nothing too crazy. Just very quiet, very calm, collected top 10 run in 9th place right now. Michael Sara, another one, having a very nice quiet day, running in 10th. Exactly what you need at this point in the season to close out on a high note. Sam Milliken doing a good job. He's up in 11th right now after starting 19th. I haven't really talked about him much today, but he's done his due diligence again here in another league race where he's just keeping it nice and quiet, not getting involved with anybody, and running in 11th. David Brenner, we see him in 12th. Remember, he didn't pit for tires on that last caution, so he's really struggling. It pushed him all the way from 2nd back to 12th at this point. And then the last car in the lead lap currently, Ricky Mandela Sr. in 13th. He's going to need a caution if he wants a chance to get into this playoff battle into the Championship 4.
That's a great beard, Ricky. I didn't know that was his beard. He's got a great beard right there. But yeah, Joe, what you just threw on screen this is what's been going on for the past 3 laps. Landry has not been able to negotiate his round Jacks Duvall. He hasn't really tried yet. He's going to peek to the inside here. But what a wonderful job Duvall is doing of closing off these lines, using air to his advantage. He only has 7 more laps. I don't think these lap cars are going to be very helpful. That's Darby up there on the top. That might kill the 84's exit. Oh boy, we'll see if the 56 will run here. This is where the blocks have to come, Joe. Oh boy.
That's deja vu for the race leader and Landry from last week. That's what pretty much decided the race was the same exact lap car in the race.
Boy.
So little deja vu right there. Jacks Duvall, though, able to hold on to the lead this time, unlike Joe Volpus. So right now, just still throwing that dirty air on the 56.
This is going to be a run.
Yeah, look at all that overspeed that he's got right there in the center of the corner.
Oh, here comes the run. Yeah, you can see it. He got a little bit higher through 3 and 4. Did the 56. He was able to arc the corner better. That did not work out, and I like what Jax did there. I think as long as that 56 can't get to the inside, he'll have to run. He makes the corner just barely. Side by side, though. I cannot believe how good of a drive off the 56 got. Will the slide job happen?
He doesn't. Oh, he might have enough speed. He does.
Slide job. He doesn't go in front, but he gets the pass done. Does Duvall have anything to say about this? I don't know about you, Joe. I try to wrap the top here, maybe.
I think that's it. I don't know. Now I think Landry's just going to be able to throw the dirty air on the 84. 4 to go.
Deuces
coming
out
to
the
3
window.
This time. As long as Landry's just able to control that dirty air, I think he's got this one tucked up as long as there isn't a caution.
Jason Landry in line for his 115th win of the season, but Jacks Duvall putting up an unbelievable fight, and there is a silver lining here, Joe, because if there was ever a race where second place was fine, was okay, this was the race, right? Because this is going to get Jacks Duvall into the Championship 4.
Yeah, Championship 4 appearance is exactly what Jacks Duvall wanted out of it. The last time we saw Jacks Duvall in a Championship 4 in Bonfire was Big Truckin' Tuesday many seasons ago. I think it was about 3 or 4, and he ended up winning that championship. Actually, he didn't win the race, but he was the first one of the Championship 4 across that start-finish line on the final lap, and ended up winning BTT Championship. So we'll see if he's going to set himself up that way once again here today or not, because right now it looks like he's setting himself up for it next week, but job's not done until we get it done next week, right?
Exactly. It's going to be the white flag here for Jason Landry, and I could not agree more with that about Jacks Duvall. Also, don't forget that on Monday nights, he made the Championship 4 a couple years ago there as well, and he lost that championship to Buddy Sully by, I don't know, an inch or 2. So Jacks Duvall, man, if he's one of your competitor is, this is not a driver you want to see in the Championship 4, and that's exactly what he's about to do right now. But one even better, Jason Landry. He's already locked in. He has been the new godfather of the BRL Premier Cup Series, and he's going to bring it around for one more time. He's going to win here at Sin City. Jason Landry wins, and then Jacks Duvall close behind in second place. It's going to sting a little, but he'll be racing for a championship right against that driver who just picked up that win. And Landry and Jax Duvall having a conversation after the checkered flag. Tons of respect, tons of appreciation, and really phenomenal driving by two world-class drivers.
Yeah, what I'm looking at there on the final tower is the top 4 are going to be the championship 4 next week. So
Yeah,
maybe
it is, huh?
Maybe a little bit of foreshadowing of who's going to be up front next week, and maybe a show of why they deserve to be there. Finished 1 through 4 here today in the cutoff race.
And that is also something you don't see too often, right? It always feels like when you go to these cutoff races, one of the 4 is one of those guys that just had everything go wrong that could go wrong. They finish somewhere in the teens or 20s, and they cling on to that last spot. But not here on Sunday. Like you said, Joe, the top 4 are the ones who will be racing for a championship. And my goodness, I have not been here all season with you guys, but it doesn't take any amount of knowledge to know that that is an incredible group of 4 drivers that's going to put on a show. And if there's anyone who could take away what looks like an inevitable championship for Jason Landry, it's either Jax Duvall, Kevin Kyle, or Joseph Volpes. Excited about that.
Yeah, we'll see. Next week we're at a concrete track for the championship race at Nashville. So we'll see what these boys are able to bring there for Nashville next week. Not going to make any sort of predictions here too early, but we'll see how it all plays out. So as we watch these burnouts, I think now's a good time to bring up them race results.
Yeah, let's take a look at where everyone else finished in this thing. Can't wait for Nashville, though. Going to be a fun one, and here we go. Once again, I believe is 9th or 10th of the year, guys?
9th.
Ninth race win of the year. I wonder what that feels like. Jason Landry visits Victory Lane again. His retirement tour looking real sexy. Then you have Jax Duvall with a phenomenal drive. He did everything right. I don't think Duvall could have done anything differently to have visited Victory Lane today. What a great job by that 84. Kevin Kyle, someone that we saw come back and forth, really played the strategy game here today, but it worked out in the end. Like I said, Kevin Kyle was playing chess while the rest of the field was playing checkers. And I don't even think he cared for the win, Joe. I think he just wanted that 3rd place because he wants to race for a championship, and that's exactly what he did. Joseph Volpes, who has been winning multiple championships and several races as of late, is going to have a chance at yet another one. And that, if there was ever one in this group of 4, feels like the dark horse, because I think a lot of these guys not taking Volpes as seriously as you need to, especially as of late. That guy has been, I think, the fastest driver in all of BRL and MRL the past couple months. 5th place, Jared Kelly, and that's so funny, Joe, because we talk about the the top 4 RR championship 4. Well, guess who's in 5th? The guy who's going to go into the best of the rest championship with the best situation. They're going to reset, I'm assuming, and go in completely even, but Jared Kelly with nothing to worry about. He will just be going there to race for that best of the rest championship, which he very much would deserve. Rick Modric going to finish in 6th place. A great drive from Rick. A quiet one as well. We didn't talk about him enough, but what a great finish. 7th place going to go to JZ Bennett, like you talked about. Kind of just fell off there at the end. Didn't really have the tires underneath him. He's going to end up in 7th. Eric Gambrill, dramatic as always, but still with a great finish. Also, as always, 8th place. 9th place, Jerry Rose. I believe that may be one of his first top 10s of the season. Phenomenal drive from Jerry Rose. If you ever need some proof of what driver coaching does for you and how valuable it is, just look at that finish right there. Michael Serra, rookie last year, one of the full-timers this year, doing a phenomenal job. He will round out the top 10, Joe.
Yep, going through the rest of the field. A couple more guys finished on the lead lap there. David Brenner was able to get back around Sam Milliken for 11th place there. Just not the right strategy not to take those tires on that last caution of the race. Puts him outside the top 10 after running top 5 most of the day. Ricky Mandela Sr. able to recover from all the black flags and everything early in the race to get 12th. Not going to be good enough, though, to make the championship 4. Sam Milliken also able to stay on the lead lap, have a very quiet day, 13th top 15 run for him. Last car on the lead lap. Tommy Fox was waiting for that caution but never got it. Ends up 14th place. First car a lap down in front of other Championship 4 hopeful, but not going to make it in. That's Jose Medina in 15th. Wayne Newman was able to get his way back up to 16th. It looked like he may have had some chaos in the middle part of his race. Did a good job recovering to 16th. I think he was a couple laps down at one point. So good recovery from him. Same with Todd Dunn. I think he may have been a couple down at one point as well. So he got 17th at the end of all this. Good job by the two of them to get good finishes out of today. Garrett Austin won the stage, I believe. Actually, we could check the data now because the data
think
is
he
out there. So let's
either won it or came in second.
we're gonna confirm right here, right now, if he won the stage or not. Survey says it was Kevin Kyle by
I knew
by
it.
0.000. So
Oh my!
so Garrett Austin not only did not win the stage, but he also ran out of fuel and cost himself 2 laps and could never recover. Finishes 18th, 2 laps down, with Jake Johnson, another one who wasn't able to recover. Same with Edward Peltz and Paul Ferdiani, all of them with trouble pretty much at the stage break. End up 2 laps down for all of them. David Medina had troubles at the stage break and a lot of other issues. Could never get back from 4 down, ends up 22nd. Tim Darby ends up 5 down and 23rd. And then you have your DNFs from the day. Mark Dumont, Chris Morrow caught up in that caution right after the stage break that ended their days. And then Justin Malarkey on the very first lap had his day end early as well. So that was your 26-car field for Las Vegas here. And now we have some cool stuff to show you there, Zach. We got our Championship 4.
Oh, that looks awesome. Check that out. And there it is. It's
Shout
going
out
to be
Kevin
Joe
Kyle.
Fultz in the 11. And yep. Oh, man. Shout out Kevin Kyle. Kevin Kyle in the 31. I mean, maybe that's why he made these. And then you have Jason Landry in the 56 and Jax Duvall in the 84. I mean, that is a great group of 4 right there. And if anyone can say anything about that 56 of Landry, it's going to be one of these 3. And I also think, Joe, I think one thing that has to be noted, I don't know what the plan is for the future, but I have noticed that BRL often follows the real life NASCAR format. NASCAR moving away from this format in the future. When this season was created, they were still doing this championship race, but something tells me this may be the last one only race to decide a champion. And boy, oh boy, I don't think I could pick a better group of 4.
Yeah, I think you might have a pretty good point saying that. We'll see when admins confirm everything for next season, what the format's going to be. We still got this last race, though, to go at Nashville between these 4 drivers, Vulpes Landry, Kevin Kyle, and Jax Duvall. Best of luck to all of them for next week for the Championship 4. Also, best of luck to the guys that made it to the Best of the Rest Championship 4.
That is awesome. Jared Kelly, like we talked about, did a great job. And Modric with an amazing drive today. I think he ended up in 7th or 6th. So Modric going to do what he had to do to move on. Michael Cera, one of those guys that was just so close last season to winning Rookie of the Year. He's going to have a chance at it. But then I think the big news right there is right at that cut line is where we saw some movement. I think going into today, Ferdiani was on the inside looking out. Yup, and now Gambrill switches with him. Eric Gambrill going to have a chance at a Best of the Rest championship. And if you know anything about Eric Gambrill, you put a prize in front of him, and he does the rest. So Gambrill's going to be a fun one to watch. That's going to be really, really fascinating to follow over in Nashville. And Nashville as the final race, that's an interesting one, Joe. That is a tight track. It's not necessarily hard to pass in this next-gen car, but you got to get a little bit physical. It's an interesting one for sure.
Oh, yeah. Nashville going to close out the season. Speaking about schedules and everything going on, we got the old Vortex Racing Network schedule going on here. I know the DDIRL ARCA series is looking to get rocking and rolling. So if you guys are interested in that, join the server, get involved, because I know some recruitment races are coming up here soon. You want to take a minute to talk about that, Zach?
Yeah, we're hoping to hold our first exhibition race. So it won't be broadcasted on BRN quite yet, but just to see where we're looking at with the running order and with the roster size. And with saying that, we want to keep this as a private event, meaning you have to already be in the DDRL Wednesday League to even be eligible to race this. So we want to see what we end up with that. Last year, that was a phenomenal league. It was great sister league to the Monday Mayhem Cup Series. 2 live broadcasts back-to-back over on VRN. Had tons of fun there. And man, Joe, I mean, I know you ran over on Fridays as well in the same race car. I have fallen head over heels in love with that race car. I love that thing. I think I even like it more in trucks now. So I am desperate to get back in that. You were the one who made me fall in love with it. You put me in that race car, and you put us at Old Iowa, the best race I think I've ever done, ever. Just so much fun, and that's what we're doing for our exhibition. So we'll be at Old Iowa, not new, stupidly paved Iowa, where they just put a bunch of toddlers there and like pave the track, and then that's what they did. The old one, that's fun. we can just deal with the bumps the old way. And that's gonna be a lot of fun. And if that goes well, if we have the roster numbers that we are happy with, we're gonna have a schedule ready to go. We're gonna get rocking and rolling the next week. We'll get ready to go, and we'll be doing some points paying races that following Monday. And with a whole new broadcasting booth, you'll still have Hilltop Bolt over there. But we're talking to guys like John Beverly, Edward Peltz, myself, a lot of really fun people to put in the booth. I think that league is going to take a big step up. And if Wednesday has been any indication, yeah, I think it will.
Yeah, very excited to see where that's headed. The boys for Monday Mayhem Cup Series tomorrow night, we're going to see them at Homestead. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
What a great track. I love it so much. Can't wait to see how that one's gonna go. And then Tuesday, we're going to be back in the booth for some more Big Truckin' Tuesday action. The Dennis Puckett Bonfire Big Truckin' Tuesday series is going to be at one of your favorite tracks, Zach, this week. We're not going to be just turning left. We're going to be turning right as well at Watkins Glen on Tuesday. So that's going to be an exciting one to see, especially after the truck update. We'll see how the truck drives now with all the aero updates, all that kind of stuff. Wednesday night, we'll see the rebroadcast of the Rockingham race.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, we really love the new pavement. It's so great. You know.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so great. Rockingham was not perfect before at all.
The new pavement there is just as great as the new pavement at Iowa. Great job, everybody.
Yeah, that in Iowa. Those are two tracks.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Round of applause to everybody on what you guys have done with these.
Good job, boys.
I mean, just absolutely incredible.
Way to not ruin two iconic racetracks. Amazing job.
The Quantum Contender Series. Now, I don't know if you saw this, Zach, but I saw the schedule for next season when Kevin Kyle's going to take over that broadcast on VRN, and I looked at their schedule. It looks like on October 16th is going to be the start of that next season, and I'm looking at the schedule. They're going to a bunch of very interesting tracks. I believe that is in the Next Gen Cup car as well. Starting out the season,
give me like two of them.
At Indianapolis, going to go to Belle Isle. We're going to hit Detroit, the streets of Detroit on week 4 of the season.
That doesn't go well in IndyCar. Oh my god.
So we're going to be seeing how these boys can do some street racing. I see a Motegi doubleheader on here on December 18th. 2 back-to-back 70-lap races. That's a Christmas theme race. I see playoff races. I see North Wilkesboro, Canadian Tire in the playoffs, Chicagoland, Daytona, Las Vegas in the playoffs, as well as...
So they're masochists over there, essentially.
Yeah, so it looks like the playoffs start at North Wilkesboro. It's going to be a throwback race, and then it's going to be Canadian Tire and Chicagoland. Obviously. And then the field's going to be cut to a round of 5, which is going to be a 3-race finale between Daytona, Las Vegas, and Auto Club, with the season wrapping up at the KK Woodscapes Championship finale at Auto Club on March 12th. What a schedule. I'm looking at this schedule and I'm like, man, guys say that some of the other schedules are Monza Oval. Some of the other schedules are pretty outlandish sometimes. I mean, that's some really extreme stuff. I'm very excited to see how that all plays out. That's going to be really cool to see on VRN, I think. All those kind of different tracks. A lot of tracks that we don't see in any of the other series that we cover. So Kevin Kyle does a great job with the broadcast. Brings a different kind of energy to it. He's going to have a different kind of racing to watch, too. That's going to be the greatest broadcast you guys have ever seen, I swear. Those Thursday Quantum Contender Series, really looking forward to that when they get rocking with us in the fall later this year. They run very long schedules. Shout out to Cody Dorsey and everybody else over there as well. I know some of them involved with us in Bonfire, so good friends of us as well. And then it all comes back to Sunday. Bonfire Premier Cup. We got that championship race at Nashville. Waiting to see the new schedule for next season. Highly anticipated. And, got a championship 4 race to look forward to on a concrete track next week.
And I think Bonfire at this point, especially on Sunday nights, they've made it through hell and back, right? Like, Jason Landry is such an unbelievable driver. I mean, without a doubt, I've gotten to race against and cover in the booth some of the best iRacers on the planet. And Jason Landry is definitely one of them. And I think everyone's going to miss his presence, his personality, the person he is after this season. But man, they have spent so much time trying to compete with him, trying to be on his level, that once Landry steps out next season, you're going to see such a different league. I think so many guys who have taken a massive step up because of Landry are going to be up front now. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But at the very, very least, like I said, we're in the clear now, because now we have the championship race where anything can happen, and Landry can either go out the bang or have kind of one of those I guess you can say New England Patriots seasons where you go undefeated until the Super Bowl, which is what it feels like Landry is doing right now. But that's going to be fascinating to see, Joe. And also on top of that, we are seeing some great stuff with BRL on Tuesdays as well. That league getting better every single week. And on top of that, every league on this network right now is doing stupid numbers, just insane numbers, full fields. We're sending people home on Wednesdays. It's just unbelievable. We couldn't be more grateful for all of that. So thank you to everyone who's been tuning in on VRN, and continue to subscribe. And thank you for getting us to 200 just a couple days ago. Big moment for the channel right there. Really proud of that. Johnny, we haven't talked to you enough, and you've been looking at this from different angles. What did you see out there today, and what are you expecting next week in Nashville?
Honestly, I saw a lot of, straight line racing. There was a couple bunch ups with some people. That was the most interesting of it. But a lot of clean racing. I mean, last week we had a couple cautions where awareness was kind of out of people's mind, and one small accident turned into a big pileup. But a lot of good clean racing. It was very, I mean, standard of how they drive. Like just the top drivers being out in the front, everybody else fighting for their positions. Nashville, I don't know what to expect, to be honest, because it's a super speedway that's not a super speedway, is what I'm told.
Yes.
Yep, nailed it, and not even close to one, really.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, everything. I'm still learning how these cars drive technically.
Like crap.
Yeah.
The audacity of Nashville to call that a super speedway, guys. Like, it's more a short track than it is even a speedway. And they're like, no, it's Nashville Super Speedway because the fairgrounds is the size of like my living room. But okay, that's gonna be a fun little race there. But I completely agree. I have no idea what to expect. I think the big thing is like David Owens is the one you usually point to at that specific track. He's not here. He's not going to be racing for a championship. It really does feel like all bets are off. And like I said, I think Vulpes is the sleeper there. A teammate of David Owens for years and years and years, someone who's very comfortable over at Nashville. And also Landry, he is one of those guys that came up from the road course side. His talent has carried him so far, but places like Nashville, they are not Vegas. They can get a little bit more difficult. A lot of time on the brakes, a lot of off throttle there. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Joe, you know the sponsors better than I do, so you want to go ahead and shout those out before we take off here today?
Oh, yeah. On top of that, so of course, Plus EV Paint. Huge shout out to Paul Ferdiani and everything that he does. Some really cool stuff. I need to get some stuff from Paul so we can put it on the broadcast
Great
as
paint.
well when he's sponsoring, because there's a lot of cool stuff he's got going on. I've seen some of the hats he's made, some of the other stuff on that side with that is really cool as well. Plus the all the stuff with the paint jobs as well. Always cool to see the 33 car out there. I know he does David Buell's paint schemes. Those are always really cool to see. I know he does a couple contests every year with them as well. And really fitting for him to sponsor Las Vegas with it, with the poker theme as well, of course, for the gambler, as Mean Gene calls him. Love the poker theme with Plus EV Paint. So huge shout out to everything that you do with us, Paul. Hope to continue have your support and have you out there on the track and race with us as always. Great to have you with us. Always love to have fellow Pennsylvanians out there with us. Let's go. So that's a big part of it as well. So thank you for sponsoring today's race and the races you sponsored over the course of the season with us as well. Shout out as well to our boy Kevin Kyle with KK Woodscapes. We were in the ad a couple times today. I know those trophies are going to be looking really, really good here in a couple of days when they're going to be made in the next week or two for the Bonfire for whatever, for Best of Rest maybe one. I know there's going to be one for the champion, so that's going to be pretty cool to see who gets it this season for another title run. And then, of course, shout out to some of our other big sponsors. Shout out to the admin group as well. great to see you boys always out there. David Medina, great to have you back this week. Being able to control the race and take over that race control. I know you were going to be gone for the rest of the season, but you were able to come back today. Didn't have the day you wanted, but really grateful to have you out there with us once again.
Shout out David Medina.
Shout out to Buell as well. I know he's still laid up from his knee surgery, so I know he races when he can. But great to see him continue the league and keep it going in the direction that Dennis always wanted it to head into. So great to have Buell as the leader of everything, and hope we continue everything that we've been doing over here. And it's been really exciting, and I'm looking forward to closing out another season.
Yeah, it's been another wonderful season over here in BRL, and I'm sure once this one's over, we'll get the schedule soon. These things are always so quick to start back up, and I think the admins deserve a ton of credit for that. David Buell especially. We've seen the guy on track on Mondays. I'm sure he's been part-time here on Sundays as well, and I don't know how he's doing it, guys. Whenever I, like, tweak my ankle, I'm like, well, I'm not racing tonight. That dude just had knee replacement, and he has still been just as good as ever. So shout out to him. Also great to see David Medina back on track. That dude is beyond a class act, and just a wonderful person to have within this league. Beyond that, we have one more thing going on here on VRN that we're in February now, Joe. So we're in the month. We are 13 days away.
Let me pull that bad boy up here. Just give
sir.
Just give me a second. I wanna show everybody. You want me to pull? Let's. There's a couple of things.
Oh, is that giving me a fancier flyer now?
There's a couple of things I could pull up here actually. So let me pull up. I can pull up the prize list, and I could also pull up the current list of drivers that are out there. So give me 2 seconds.
Ooh, and I actually even have a few exciting entries that aren't probably on that list yet that I can let you guys in on. But yeah, this is going to be a fun race, and what we're alluding to, guys, is the drive for 500, and there it is right there.
No, it's gonna be. They're not seeing it yet. Hold on. Yet. Hold your horses.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There you go.
There it is. And so what this is going to be a full-length race, 500 miles around Daytona on Valentine's Day, because Kevin Kyle wants us all to get divorced or broken up with. And so we're going to be going live at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have dedicated race control. That's going to be Jason Landry, because someone else has to win. Even at Daytona, I'm afraid of him. And it's going to be a wonderful experience. We're going to have Mean Gene up in the booth. But what you're seeing here on screen is just all the different prizes and awards are going to be given away throughout this race. So the race winners are going to get their exclusive KK Woodscapes trophy, and it's a race win trophy that's very different from what you normally see from Kevin Kyle. We've showed off a lot of his trophies here. I've showed off a few. Normally they are the shape of the track you won at, and he puts the details on it. It's such a cool trophy, but this one totally different. It lights up and stuff, and it looks like a Vortex. Kevin's really about the whole Vortex thing. He takes it very literally. So it's like a tornado, and he loves it. And it's honestly, I want that trophy so bad. I suck at Daytona, but I want it. Stage 1 winner is going to get Daily Drivers Inc. Yours truly, me and Johnny Live here, members of Daily Drivers Inc. We're going to be sending in a merch pack for the winner of Stage 1. That's going to include a shirt of your choice, lanyards, air fresheners, a bunch of fun stuff like that. Stage 2, Joe, this is the one I'm going for. I'm trying to win Stage 2, so stay out of my way. KK Woodscapes voucher for a track trophy. That's the cheat code in this whole thing right here. You don't even need to win the race. You can just win Stage 2 and get yourself a trophy. Kevin owes me like 15 of those damn things. So I'm going to be going for Stage 2. I'm going to be a missile in Stage 2. So look for Zach Panzarella up front then, or wrecked. But that is going to get a voucher for a free track trophy. And also, you don't have to win to need a Kevin Kyle trophy. Accomplishments are so different for so many different people. Maybe it's your first pole. Maybe it's your first top 5. Maybe it's a good finishing position in the league that you're in. Or maybe it's a best of the rest championship. Kevin Kyle also does custom trophies. So if you can come up with something that's realistic, he'll make it for you. So that is a really, really cool trophy. And then so all drivers that enter and complete 50% of the laps, so don't wreck out early. I don't think we have a faster pair either, so wish us luck. Will be entered in a raffle for the remaining prizes. And the remaining prizes are a free livery from Daniel Plant, or Yo Boy Plant. That's an amazing company name, Joe. But Daniel Plant, man, he makes some beautiful paint schemes. That Pennzoil car, I don't like Pennzoil cars, but his specifically, always looking good. Then Team Conte Sim Performance with a $50 gift certificate Really, really good value there. This is just so cool seeing all this. And then a VRN broadcasted race voucher with Mean Gene and KK, the most unhinged combination of broadcasters that we could potentially put together. So have fun with that, boys. But you get that for free. And wow, it's going to bring some personality to your league. And that is one of my favorite booth combinations we have available here on VRN. You also get some Sim and Destroy, Never Lift Ever for any reason for anybody merch pack. And that is some good stuff. I was actually lucky enough to help Kevin with getting all that stuff printed for him. And I know the equipment he's using. We worked very closely together on getting him started up with the printing life. And he is using top-notch equipment. He did not spare any expense, just like his trophies. So that's going to be great. There'll be another Daily Drivers Inc. merch pack. That one will be more DDIRL focused. So you get to choose a DDIRL shirt along with some more DDIRL merch and MRL merch. So that's going to be more of an iRacing focused package. And then finally, you have another voucher for a track trophy. Damn, Joe, I better win one of these track trophies. I'm going to be so upset if I don't, but it's Daytona, and I'm terrible there.
I'm going to have to show you when I get it. I know it's coming like in the next day or two. I'm going to have to show you the track trophy that we did for
it's so cool.
For my championship on Thursday.
Ooh.
You're gonna love what that looks like.
Give me like a hint of what it looks like.
No, I should send you a picture that I sent to Kevin for the for the design look. It's so bad, the picture. It's incredible what it's incredible what Kevin can do with anything.
Oh yeah. I'm so mean to Kevin about that, dude. I will send him just a bunch of crap and an idea, and I'm like, "You got it, buddy. You'll be fine." And he always is somehow. He always comes out with what I wanted in my mind to work, but I genuinely never make it easy for Kevin.
There you go. There it is. This is what everybody wanted to see. Who's in and who's not. I know you said you might have a couple additions potentially.
I do. So I can confirm Dalton Geyer will be also representing DDIRL in this race. He'll be driving likely the 36 race car. You see my name there, top left, and below that I see a lot of drivers who are better than me. This is the who's who of this network, Joe. You're looking at this, you see, I'll just start from the top. Rayshon Wakefield, so Sean Walton, the guy who just won DDRL on Wednesday. Colin Bollinger, a multi-time champion in multiple series on MRL. Jordan Fisher, I think the best driver. I think we can objectively say he is the best driver around us. Steve Louis. What is Daytona without Louis? And then you just keep going down and down this list, and there are so many talented drivers on this list.
You know
Joe,
what?
this is an exciting one.
You know what? You haven't even touched on some of the people that I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna put out a couple favorites based on this list right now.
Do it.
So I've seen Jordan Fisher win at a super speedway before, so he's going to be one of my favorites. I've seen Evan Stewart win. Actually, both of them finished directly in front of me when they won, so I'm going to put two of them. They're going to be on my favorites list. Brandon Garand always is up front at the end of these races as well, so he's going to be on my favorites list, as well as the two guys directly below him, Nick Mills, Jack Sanders. Let's see. This is gonna become the whole list at this point. Who else have I seen up front towards the end of these races? Zach, you're like Kyle Larson at super speedways. I swear.
I swear to God, I am, man.
It's really bad.
Third and fourth, I'm like, why am I here? I become a problem to everybody else. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. I promise you guys, I'm trying my best. I literally, I always say I'm a lot like Kyle Larson, and that's very much a compliment towards myself. But yeah. I am very much like Kyle Larson at these types of tracks. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing most of the time, and I never want to be there in the beginning. I just feel like a problem.
You know what's going to make it even better? You're going to be driving a cup car. When's the last time you drove one of those?
Yeah. The Daytona 500 2 years ago. Jesus Christ.
So you got to take that into effect as well.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Oh, that's brutal.
I'm looking at the guy two below you on that driver list, though. They're Jax Duvall.
Yep.
He's always up front. Him and Nick Mills, I feel like they've traded back and forth in Bonfire a lot, at least at Daytona. So Daytona specifically, those two are usually have a chance to win there, are usually right there. Those guys, I know Justin Parham just won, actually, speaking of Daytona, he just won at Daytona in DDIRL MRL Truck Series on Wednesday, so we could add him to that list as well. There's so many favorites on this list, and that doesn't even, the rest of the field there, they're all good racers, so I mean, like, any of them could really win, but like if you're looking to be up front at the end, those are the boys I think you want to try and work with, and then leave out to dry when it's money time.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're not even talking about Kenneth Redinger, Daniel Plant Smith, Grant Applegate, the Monday defending champion. And then also one above Parham is what I'm excited about too. That's Danny Sanchez. And I misspoke. Me and Dalton are not racing for DDIRL. We were racing for VRN. DDIRL chose Backpack Racing to represent us as a league. And that would be Danny Sanchez, Brandon Lolis, and Brandon Wybara. Sanchez signing up shows me that you can expect Wybara and Lolis to also be joining them to represent DDRL for Backpack Racing. And those guys have not, well, they had a great, I don't want to give away too much for what they're about to see at the Rock, but boy, oh boy, did they show what they're capable of at the Rock. They are, to me, like the thing that DDRL is most proud of that we brought in. You already had me, Dalton, Patrick Cowgill, a lot of the top guys there that came from MRL, PRL. But these guys we found in one of our recruitment races. They have gone all in on the league. There's talks about Daniel Sanchez becoming an admin on Mondays. So I'm very excited to watch those guys. And one thing about them, Joe, is I've never in my life, and that includes Gulf Coast and other teams that I've seen work so well together, I've never seen a team work so well together as Backpack does. There are times against them where you see it happening, you're like, well, we're screwed. So that's going to be fun to watch as well.
A lot of different storylines. We still got 2 weeks to go. Still a few spots open too. So get yourselves in there. I mean, come on, we want a full field for this thing. So get in there.
60. Screw it.
Oh, okay. I don't know about all that. I think 30. I think sticking with the 38. I think at the most Kevin would probably go to 40 to match real life, but I don't. We're not. This isn't the 1947 Daytona 500 where everybody's out there on the racetrack on the beach. So.
Or the 2026 DDIRL Daytona 500.
Yeah. We're not doing that. That's not the idea of this. So we're gonna make sure it's a good, clean race and a lot of fun for everybody as well, especially when we're doing 200 laps around any track. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are as well. Great stuff all on the horizon for everything. Zach, I don't know if you want to close this out or if you want me to do it.
I can close that. I just want to give a massive thank you to Mean Gene Money. He had some prior engagements, but he still was late to them to ease us into the broadcast. Give me, I think, a lot of just some information that made the broadcast go a little bit smoother. So a big shout out to him. You'll have him back next week for your guys' championship race. But I do want to thank the entire league for putting up with me like you guys always have to whenever I fill in. And it's always a great time to get to cover this league and all the amazing drivers within it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And best of luck to everyone next week. And I can't wait to watch it. Thank you to Johnny and you, Joe. You guys are doing amazing every Sunday over here. And especially Joe, you and Bev over on Wednesdays. Absolutely wonderful. We're going to miss you guys until the end of our regular season, as it's going to be me and Steve Fugay and likely Hilltop Bullet taking over there until we get to the chase and we get our premiere booth back in there. But you guys have been doing such a wonderful job. And Johnny, always amazing getting to be back in the booth with you. It's maybe half the reason why I was in here, just to hang out with one of my best friends. But this was a wonderful experience and clearly another great season here. Nashville is going to be a wonderful one, and I love the Final Four they have. And I think it's going to be a turning point in this league. One of the best drivers in the league's history going to be kind of bidding adieu, and will he go out on top, or will he go out with one of the drivers finally being able to say something about it on the most important day of the race? So really, really awesome stuff to come. And thank you all for joining us today on this Sunday morning here at Sin City. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, or different place at Nashville, back here on VRN. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you all for watching. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Johnny. And we will see all of you guys over in Nashville.